Alrighty, are we live? Yes, we are. This week on the Color Up Podcast, it's all about the betting systems. And believe me, you're going to hear some big names like Martingale, Paroli, and D'Alembert. We're going to talk about it right now.
Welcome to the Color Up Podcast. Whether you're a seasoned player or a beginner eager to step up to the table, this is your lucky podcast that's all about the thrill and strategy of the casino world. I'm your host, Jeremy. With me is Jim the Professor. Let's get rolling. Well, Jim, we are back for another episode of the Color Up Podcast. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, right before we started, I was talking about DiceCon, which you're wearing a DiceCon shirt.
Yes.
That is our annual dice convention. I don't know if it's convention, not necessarily, but it's a meeting of our club members. So
yes,
we was talking about some initial planning for that. So we got to get back to that conversation at some point. Maybe we'll do that in the monster roll, which is where we get to the viewers' questions and whatnot. But as far as this week goes, anything gambling wise or anything going on this week?
Let's see. No, just went to a funeral. That's pretty cool. No,
cool.
It wasn't cool. It wasn't cool.
Yeah, it's always
it's a bummer. It's
part of life, though. I guess.
Yeah. It's a circle of life thing, and great guy and a younger guy, not super young, but definitely young. He was like the big brother to everybody in the neighborhood, and a great guy. And his mom's still kicking and across the street from me. So it's very sad,
Yeah.
but wishing the family the best. But other than that, no, it's heading to the playoffs in the football season. Got
playoffs.
Yeah, our team got in. I think we're the 8th seed, so we're going to be taking on the number 1 seed, hoping for a victory.
You're talking about soccer.
No. Oh, no. Soccer. We won today. My over 50 team won today, and we're going to the finals in our fall league. Yes. And
you're going to be district conference area Virginia champions of the soccer league, huh?
In my mind. Yeah. But yeah, it's fun to get out there and play, no matter
what playoffs were you talking about?
The playoffs for high school football from my my high school team. But then I also had my playoff game today. We had the semifinals. We won 4-3. We were up, I think 3-0, and we turned it into a thriller in the last 5 minutes. So
yeah, that doesn't. Yeah. So what position? I don't know if I've asked your position there.
Yeah, I play defense mostly, and right here in today though I played a lot of midfielder. So we went with 3 back, and I played the winger. So I'm running up and down supporting everybody, the attack and then the defense. So
yeah, I know nothing about this style of football.
Yeah,
although I should be out there playing. I need to do something athletically.
I bet you they have a league for you in Reno.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they got all kinds of stuff. I would probably join a basketball league before I did the soccer league, but yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I need shoulder surgery.
It's okay. You can just adjust your shot.
No, I've tried. Like in the backyard, I'm like, okay, I got one of those hoops that adjust, to like 8 foot. I'm like, okay, like 2 shots. I'm like, all right, I can't lift my arm. That's why I had to stop doing push-ups and lifting weights. Like, I just got to get it taken care of.
Yeah,
I've torn something
twice on this one. Yeah,
really?
Oh yeah.
So why twice? I mean, it doesn't fix the first time, or it just broke again, huh?
It broke again,
or tear, I guess.
Tear broke. Yeah. There's five different tears.
Yeah, I guess I got to do something because, as you get older, you got to keep moving. I do walk every day. Although it's almost winter here in Reno, so
your walking days are over.
Yeah, my walking days are coming to an end. My wife's like, just bundle up, but I'm like, yeah, but then your face still freezing, then you get the snotty thing going.
Oh my gosh. They don't have malls or casinos in Reno for you to walk around?
They do. I don't know some of the casinos. I don't know if there's a good place to do loops. I never thought about that. I guess I could. I do have a walking. It was my son's, but I have a treadmill in my garage. But I don't know if I could do that. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I don't know why we're talking about.
I don't
this.
know, but you need to do something.
You're right. I do need to do
You need
Do
to do
something.
something. Yeah, maybe that's
Yeah,
next week's episode. What should Jeremy do to get healthy?
yeah,
Yeah, on
absolutely.
TV.
Well, we should probably um, get into today's episode, which is about these are like classic betting strategies,
Yes,
not
classic.
necessarily craps, although they do apply because they're essentially for games that are 1-to-1 bets. So they're more famously known for like roulette
Yeah, a
with
roulette.
the
Yeah,
with why did I do that bad
I don't know.
accent? Like red and black, odd and
Yes,
even, baccarat, player
even payout
banker,
bets. Yeah, supposedly even. Yeah.
which those are like one hand decisions. You,
Hmm.
you could play it in craps for sure because you got pass line, don't pass
Right.
is essentially 50-50, but it's a lot. You got to be a lot more patient because it takes sometimes multiple rolls for hand and craps to be resolved.
Yes.
But that's essentially what you're looking at.
Hmm.
Blackjack, kind of. Sometimes there's splitting situations and different things. So I don't. You could, but it's a little different, I would say.
And then you have the baccarat
Yeah,
game.
baccarat. Yeah,
Yeah,
player
baccarat.
banker. So
Hmm.
essentially those. And so for us, we're probably talking pass line don't is
Right.
what we would apply these bets to. You could maybe do the 6 and 8, but again, kind of it's a little weird situation. Not, you probably could. If anything, I would say you could do it that. I mean, you could do it in the field bet, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that. I
Really?
mean, it would be quick, but I mean, you're
The
talking about
house
a
edge
house
would be
edge.
it would be through the
Yeah,
roof at
not real.
least.
I mean, same as the red and black, right?
Yeah,
5%.
5%.
So
Mm,
not the end of the
okay.
world.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, ideally for a good game, you're talking baccarat, 1%, and you pass or don't pass
Right.
in the craps table, 1.5%, so or under 1.5%.
Yeah, 1.41, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What do you want to start with? Which one?
Well, let's go with the big M, probably the most famous one, which is the Martingale.
Yeah.
And have you ever played it?
Well, it's to a degree, yeah.
Okay. Have you done? And I know you've done a video on it, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe a
Multiple
couple.
versions.
Okay.
There's a lot of strategies that involve the martingale. I in my store, I have a T-shirt. Friends don't let friends martingale.
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of this
Full
system.
disclosure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Full disclosure. So why don't you go ahead and describe what does the Martingale look like and why you're not a fan and you don't let your friends Martingale.
Well, essentially, what the martingale system is when you make a bet and you lose your bet, you then double your bet,
Okay.
and then if you lose again, you double your bet again. So at some point, when you eventually win, then you make up all your losses, and then you win your initial unit back, like $10. Let's say let's do all examples just so it's easy. $10 today in today's
Okay.
episode.
Let's do it. $10.
So $10 on your bet, you lose it, you'd go to 20. You lose your $20 bet, you'd go to 40. You lose that $40 bet, you go to 80. And let's say you win there, you would win 80, so you'd win your $70 back, and then you'd have a $10 profit.
Okay. What's wrong with that?
Well, nothing really. It is actually a perfect strategy
To win $10.
to win one unit. Yeah. The problem is the casinos have set up two situations. Well, they've only set up one, but there's two limiting factors to this perfect strategy. Number one is they put a table limit.
Okay.
So if you go 80, 160, 320, 640, 1280.
128, yeah.
Yeah.
1280, you're right.
Yeah. 2460. I don't know, whatever, 2560.
Yep.
Whatever. You keep going. So they might have a limit. So at some point, you're not going to be able to double your bet. And that way, even if you win it, you're not going to win your money back.
But you could get close, right?
Well, sure. It just depends on how many sequences, right? So a lot of people are like, eight is kind of a popular number, and then it gets really expensive. So oh, no way that my don't pass bet's going to lose 8 times in a row. And as long as I keep doubling it, eventually I'll win it back and I'll be in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why they do that, is because, a multimillionaire would come in
And wipe them out of
and
$10.
Well, they can start at $1,000 units, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, they could start at $1,000 units, then go to 2,000, then 4,000. Obviously, would add up to could be hundreds of thousands, maybe $1 million. But they know it will at some point win, and they'll have a profit. So if they had unlimited funds, they would win all the time, except for that casino says, we got a table limit. Okay. So that prevents multi-billionaires from a guaranteed win. And then, I just kind of said it.
What's the second one is what?
Is we are limited in our finances. There's very few of us that are multi-millionaires that are going to do this.
The bankroll is what you're talking about.
Yeah, the bankroll. Mm-hmm. So if you go in with 1,000, you could get to the point where, hey, I've got to bet that, what did we say, 1280. You can't do it, so you can't catch up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, bankroll limits us, and then table limits us. Otherwise, perfect strategy.
Okay. And then, what are your thoughts on? Does it work occasionally, or does it not work occasionally?
Like I said, it always works, unless you hit the table limit or you run out of money. It's like the perfect strategy. But the reason I don't like it is because you get up to that position where you're going to hit the table limit, or you're going to run out of money, or you're sweating it because now you're betting whatever it is, $2,000 to win back 10. Like, that's really bad.
Yeah. All it takes is one or two.
Yeah. And
3 in a row, and it gets out of hand.
Right. Exactly. Because you're doubling. So, 10, 20, 40, 80, 160, 320, 640. How many bets is that? 5. And now you're in $1,000 bet to win $10.
Nah, you wouldn't normally do that, right?
No, I'm not going to go up and be like, hey, you have a 50-50 chance. Would you like to bet $1,000 to win 10?
You would never do it, yeah.
Never do it.
Never.
But now you have to, because you're in the hole, all those other bets.
So the system is perfect.
System is perfect.
But
can't lose system.
Can't lose.
Except for that darn table limit and your own personal bankroll.
And they do that, I'm assuming, in the high table limit rooms also?
Yeah.
Because I'm not
there's
a high
no
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no place that will say, yeah, you can bet unlimited.
Okay.
I mean, maybe there's been a deal worked out, but they know it. The casinos have a lot of money, so they can afford someone doubling up for a long way, but at some point, yeah, that's why they do it. That's why there are table limits, because of things like this. Because you could, if you had a big enough bankroll, you would be able to beat the casino with this strategy.
Do you know fans who or members? Maybe I don't know if they're club members, but do you know people that are proponents of this system?
Everybody loves this thing. It seems like I get submissions all the time. Is like, well, you lose, you just double it. And that's called the Martingale.
Okay.
They're like, yeah, but eventually you'll win. That's true, but how much are you going to lose in the meantime? And then you're going to hit the, the cap. Either you're going to run out of money or you're going to hit that table limit.
So there's a lot of people who like it, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, there are people that now talk about, I don't know, I call it Martingale Light now, but it seems to be popular now. Everyone's calling it ladder. They're laddering up.
Yes, laddering up. Yeah, I've heard that term.
Yeah, it's essentially, it's more in line with the Diem Bolt. I don't know how to say that. Diem Bolt? You're better at this.
D'Alembert.
Yeah, it's more in line with that one.
Yeah.
Because it's only a unit or 2 units, or sometimes it's a martingale. It's not like a full martingale where you double every time, but I'm not a fan where you're doubling when you lose. It's just not me. Like,
negative progression is.
Negative progression. This is a negative. Martingale is a negative progression. So, yeah, when you lose money on something, hey, let's throw more money after that and try to catch up. It's just, in my mind, it's backwards. But
okay.
What are your? I mean, how have you encountered?
I've seen people play it. My second trip ever to Vegas after the big $300 win at MGM, made me want to go back. And I went over there and I was playing. We stayed at Luxor, and I saw a guy doing exactly. And I didn't even know what it was then. I was so new, and I saw him just kept doubling his bet and doubling his bet and doubling his bet, and then he got lucky the first night I saw him there, and he ended up, I think, winning his whole $10 back or whatever it was, or $100. And then the second night he just got cleaned out. He was betting on the don't pass,
Okay.
and we ran into a hot shooter. I think he hit 6 points in a row, and it just took him down. I don't know what the number was, but it was big stacks of black chips.
And then he just
all over
walked
the
away.
place.
He just
Yeah,
he ran out of money.
He didn't have any more money. I mean, I'm sure he's a man of means. He could probably walk around and get some more, but that's my experience with it. He won some money the first night. He lost some money the second night, but I've never really noticed anybody at a table playing it where I am.
Yeah,
But
that's true. I never. Yeah, as far as observing playing at the table, I see it. Well, it wouldn't be a martingale. I see people just repeating, same betting a lot, like in the field. They keep
or
losing, losing, and they keep chasing
pressing.
it.
Yeah. They press
Um,
the field, or sometimes I've seen, and this is a positive progression. I've seen like if the field hits, they keep it there and they double it, and keep their winnings there. But I've
right.
never seen anybody as far as the main chunk of their bankroll other than this guy at the
Actually
Luxor.
doubling every time.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't see it in action much either. But if it weren't for
There's
those two
two little
problems,
things, yeah. There's a lot of
yeah,
people who are apparently fans, according to you, who are emailing you and trying to be.
I hear about it too, especially on. Well, you're in the East Coast. You're talking about
Yeah,
you start at $15 or $25. Money gets
it's
expensive first.
expensive. Yeah.
I get emails from people who go, I gamble online at a
Okay.
craps table, whatever, and so they're starting with like 25 cents. So 25 cents, 50 cents, a dollar, $2,
Two.
$4. You can go quite a few levels before you start getting into, a reasonable. And even though they start at 25 cents, they still have like a reasonable $1,000 table limit. So
Mm-hmm.
$2, $4, $8, $16, 32. I mean,
32.
you're
Yeah.
multiple sequences in this. Of course, you only win back a quarter when it's all said and done, 25 cents.
Right.
But
You didn't walk
you
out
can
with
you can
anything
pull it
less.
off
Mm-hmm.
because you can afford so many more sequences because you're only starting at 25 cents. Whereas if you start at $25, you just multiply that number by 10, and most of us aren't. A couple rolls into it, now you got $1,000. Most of us are sweating a
Oh
$1,000 bet.
yeah, I would be sweating, just doubling up sometimes. I mean, I don't know. It's different comfort levels and different levels of risk
Yeah,
and all.
sure.
But when I see some of the big dogs play, it's just like But then again, I got to keep in mind what's a big dog to me might be a little dog to themselves. So
Right.
that kind of deal. But I
Yeah,
guess we
so
could.
essentially that's why I'm not a fan. It's just because at some point you're betting 1,000 to win $10, or I just don't. If you're on a losing streak, to keep, oh well, let's keep. Gambler's fallacy. Eventually, will.
Yeah, oh, yeah. The Monte Carlo effect and all that.
Yeah, eventually it will. It's supposed to. Well,
And
that's not how chance works.
isn't it funny how these things are named, a lot of them after mathematicians and people like that, and they don't take into account the gambler's fallacy. One of the articles in prepping for this show was talking about one of the guys had his system debunked. I think it was D'Alembert, yeah, on his system, and he his whole system got totally rebuked because of the gambler's fallacy. So yeah, it's weird how they get cool names like Martingale.
Well,
We
I
can
mean,
transition to the next one, whatever. But
yeah,
they're just kind of, I don't know, to be named after all these people, and then
but the
they're
math
just
is sound. Like the Martingale, you can't. It is a perfect strategy, except for they put in table limits. So in
and the
theory, and that's what a lot of these mathematicians and genius, I mean, they deal in theory. So in theory, great idea.
well
And then
the other thing is
in practicality, it's pretty close. It's like, come on, really? I'm going to lose this bet 8 to 10 times in a row? No way.
and
How often
but
does it
it
happen?
happens.
It's just,
But
it does happen. So how many times,
Yeah.
oh, I won my $10. How many times can you do that? And then the one time you
Yeah.
don't, well, now you got to catch up a lifetime of wins. So,
And then the other thing that I kept reading in a lot of the things that says no matter which strategy you play, you cannot, there's no strategy that will overcome or even put a dent. I think is the way Shackelford puts it on his site, Wizard of Oz. There's no strategy that will put a dent in the house edge.
right.
House edge is
Right.
going to be the house edge.
Because we're talking about the pass and don't, which is pays 1-to-1 and
Right.
essentially a 50-50 bet, but it's not, because even
It's
though you're
not.
winning 1-to-1, they're taking a percentage off, because it's not, they're not paying you fair. They're keeping a percent back.
Mhm.
It is very difficult to explain that to new people. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. I think it's like 256 times to 242 or something like that's the win and loss ratio of the pass and don't or something. And then they pay you 1-to-1. So at some point you're the underdog,
Right.
and you should get paid, whatever the number is, 256, but they don't pay you 256. They only pay you 1.
Right.
So yeah,
The house edge is real.
they take their cut first, and then they pay you what's left.
You get what's left.
Right.
I
But
don't know.
it is a good bet, because they're only taking 1.4% of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But no matter what you do, they're getting theirs.
They're
So-
getting there. You want to trans?
We talk.
move
Everyone
on
knows
over?
Martingale. Maybe let's
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about these other two that aren't.
You
as
want to do the
popular.
Paroli
Maybe they don't
next?
know. Yeah.
Now, to me, I don't like the title of this one because it sounds like the person just got out of jail and came up with this system, the Paroli. But what do you?
It sounds like food to me. I'm thinking like pierogi or something like
I
this.
don't know. What do you know about this one? What do you think about this one?
To me, I'm a little more inclined. I like this one a little better,
Really?
because it is a positive progression.
All right.
Essentially, it's like pressing your bet. So instead of doubling when you lose, the Paroli doubles when you win.
Okay.
And the reason I like this is because, I don't believe in casino money or house money. If you won the money, it's your money,
Okay.
and you are risking it again if you bet it again instead of walking out. But we're talking about gambling here. So I would rather gamble with money that came from the casino's pocket than the money that came from my pocket when I walked in to the place.
Okay.
So I come in, I make a $10 bet, I win. Cool. Now I got $20, and now I'm going to double it and make a $20 bet. And if I win that 20, I win 40. Cool. Now I make a $40 bet. So I'm essentially putting all my money back out there.
And wasn't
Now,
that one 3 times?
Yeah.
If you win 3 times,
You could go whatever you want, but a lot of people say, hey, stop at 3, because that's it's kind of the opposite mindset of Martingale. People are like, really? I'm going to lose 8 times in a row? And we say, yeah, it could happen. So with this one, Paroli, a lot of people are like, really? You're going to win 8 times in a row? Unlikely. So let's pick a more likely number. So people, I don't know why, but people kind of settled on 3 as a good, let's double up 3 times and then reset back down.
Right,
So
and
you
then
go
you're back
10,
down.
20, 40. Hey, I won at 40, collect the 40, and now I'm back down to 10, my base unit. And so I like that one, because you're essentially betting again, house money, which is your money, but it's just easier to me to wrap my mind around.
Now
I'm not coming out of my pocket to risk more.
Let me challenge you on this house money
Okay.
idea. Say you're playing 3 or 4 times and you lose the first 3 or 4 times, and then you win a couple, times. On that 3rd time, are you really playing with the house money then, or is it we still getting back
Not
to
yet,
our
right?
money?
You're just catching up because you lost. The nice
Okay.
thing about this is because you're not progressing on losses. Let's say you do lose 3 times in a row. Well, I lost $10. Well, now you stay at the same level. You bet $10 again. You're
Right.
not
Back to
increasing.
10.
I lost 10 again. I lost 10 again. So you've only lost $30 with 3 losses.
Okay. All right.
But then if you can get on a streak of winning 3, well, now you're going to win 10 and 20 and 40. So you're going to win
Right.
$60.
Reset. And
Yeah, you
start
reset.
again.
You've covered your 3 losses, and you actually still have a 3-unit profit, and you've started over. So
Okay.
yeah, that's why I like it, because it's a positive progression. You're betting with winnings, house money, whatever you want to call it. It's just
Right.
easier.
Right.
Yeah, and you're on again positive. You're on like a positive win streak, right? So you're betting with the positivity. It's not like, dang it, I lost again. Well, I'll double up again. It's just a whole mindset thing. But
Okay.
yeah.
So 3 times you double on each win, 3 times on the third win, then you go back down to your base level of $10 and you start the process again.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty simple.
Yeah. And you like that.
I like it better. I like it better than negative progressions,
Okay.
because I'm gambling more, but it's with winnings. It's not with money out of my pocket.
Have you done a video on this particular one?
Nothing that I've said, hey, this is the Paroli, and I've rolled it out.
Okay.
I mean, I've done,
Similar.
yeah, it's because it's pressing your bet, right? So
Yeah.
I've done this like in the field, you press it. And I actually played this sometimes in the field
Oh,
as
wow.
a little thing, especially on the cruise ships where it's like, why not cover that? So I'll throw in, a lot of times their table minimum might be 10, but the field is $1. So I'm like, I'll throw in $1. And if it wins, just stack it up. I go to 2. If it wins, it goes to 4. And then I'll actually reset, or I'll pull my dollar off, right? And then leave like a $3 bet. So it's a little different. But then I'm like, I got my dollar back, and now there's a $3 bet. If it wins,
what's going on? Yeah.
yeah, if it wins, I go to 5. And then if it wins again, hey, cool. Now I can make a place bet. And it doesn't,
All right.
So I do kind of play a little bit of the Paroli, a little bit myself in the field sometimes.
And maybe it's even better. Yeah, maybe it's even better if you do it in the field, because if you do it on the pass line and the don't pass, you're going to be getting even money. Whereas in the field, you get 2 in the 12 double. If it's a really good table, you can triple up on the 12. I don't know. Just interesting. Your take on it's interesting. I still don't know if I'm going to try it, but I would try it. But that sounds more reasonable to me.
That's more reasonable than if I'm doing it. If I did the same and I'm like, okay, I put the $1 in the field and I lost. Well, now I'm going to go to $2 and I lost. Now I go to $4 and it wins, and I've only won $1 back. Like I'm like, that just, I don't know. It's just a mindset. It just doesn't compute.
Okay.
For me. So that's why.
But the math is pretty much the same.
Yeah,
right?
it's the same.
Yeah. Okay.
But I just like the positive progression instead of the negative
The
progression.
negative, yeah. Okay. All right. So anything else you want to talk about on the Paroli? No? All right.
Just it's opposite. You just double when you win.
Okay. So opposite
and then,
of the
a lot
Martingale.
a lot of people like to stop it at 3 and reset. Pull your profit out.
Yeah, lock in that
profit, which
Locking
is
it in.
Yeah, that's the best part of that system, locking that profit.
Locking it in. Okay.
Where the Martingale, there is no, it's like, please let me lock in the 1 unit profit. Yeah, please help, dice gods.
I got you. Yeah, and
at least in the Paroli.
Yeah, with a lot of money.
Paroli, you're in charge. You get to make the decision.
Okay. All right. Well, you almost made a fan of me, so congratulations. Almost, but not quite. Yeah. All right. So it brings us to our big one, D'Alembert, who is it's named after a famous French mathematician, and I did a lot of research on this guy. He wrote a lot of stuff. He was part of that whole Renaissance movement, and really neat guy. And he came up with this, and then he was one. It's named after him. I didn't see anywhere where he gambled with it, but he
Yeah, I was
was.
going to say, what did he kind of apply it to?
No, he didn't. He didn't apply it. I don't think to gambling, but he gets credit for it. And then I saw on a website where it said his one of his things about this particular strategy was disproven because of the gambler's fallacy. Because I think he believed that it's impossible, or the odds against it are so great that it's not going to happen. But then again, when you're talking infinity, anything's almost possible over it. So that's why they kind of changed it up. But anyway, you want to go ahead and give a little overview of D'Alembert's method
Sure.
of play here?
So this is another. Well, it's a hybrid. It's not. I don't know. I wouldn't call it a negative progression. It does have negative progression and it has positive progression. So it's like a hybrid.
Okay.
But you don't double your money in this one. You just do 1 unit increases or decreases. So when you lose, you add a unit. And when you win, you back down a unit or go the other way. So if you start with $10 and you lose, you'd go to 20. If you lose a $20 bet, you don't double it, go to 40, you would just go to 30.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose that bet, again, you don't double, you would just go to $40. And then if you win, you don't drop back down to 0, you would go from 40 down to 30. And if you won again, you'd go from 30 to 20.
All right.
And then if you lost, well, now you'd go from 20 back up to 30. So you're just kind of, it's like a trend following thing. You just 1 unit, follow the trend kind of strategy.
Okay. So it sounds like it's pretty simple. So
Yeah.
you add a unit if you lose,
Mm-hmm.
and you take away a unit if you win.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever tried this particular methodology?
No.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
not that I can think of. I mean, maybe, let's see.
Did you play it and not know you were playing it?
Well, I'm thinking like, okay, if I just take it like on a bet, 6 and 8, if it wins, I press. Well, let's see. I'm already off on the other end because it goes if you lose, you would press a unit, and I don't do that. If I lose, I restart. So, yeah, no, I don't think because I don't negative progress, and that's how it starts. So, yeah. So, Holy Roller mentioned it's basically the ladder, but
Or we could say the ladder is basically the Lambert. I don't know. The
we
Lambert.
tried it. Ladder is an easier name, but I don't know. People, again, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that term because so many people are like, they're calling everything laddering, and it's essentially negative progression. And I'm like, sounds like Martingale. They're like, yeah, but it's not always a full unit. And when you come back down the ladder, I don't know. There's obviously variations, but yeah, essentially, if you lose, you add a unit. If you win, you pull the unit back. So it's I don't see where you make I don't see where you come out ahead here.
Yes.
Because you've laddered up, you've D'Alemberted up to $50 unit. You lost again, you go to $60 unit. You win. So you win 60 and you back down to 50. I guess the hope is now you win at 50, you back down. You hope to win on the way down.
Like, yeah. And
so
again, you're not winning as
and,
much. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
instead of pressing your bets, it's kind of like regressing at the table. So maybe it is because that's what everybody always says. Hey, win and then come back down, or you'll hear people say, take me up a unit, but you very rarely hear people say, take me down a unit.
I try to preach regress, but most people are only go one way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Let's see, if you got a $60 bet, you've lost 10, 20. I mean, you've lost more than 60. So you're at 60 to win 60 and then you drop back down to 50. That's not a regression enough to get out of the hand. I think you're still in the hole. I think. I could be wrong. I'm not super familiar with the math on this one as much, but
okay. Yeah.
Brian said it usually takes 3 wins on the way down. So
okay.
If you're on a losing streak, you got to get on a winning streak of 3. So he might be more familiar with the math.
Okay. So something that you would play? strategy you'd use?
I should probably make a video about it, but again, I'm not going to, even if it's one unit. I'm trying to think. Do I never? I don't like negative progressions. I don't like to lose a bet and then add more money. I can't do it.
You're not that
Can't do it,
guy.
Jim.
You're not that guy. That's sad.
It's sad that I don't go, you know what? I lost. Let's add some more money and try again. It's
Well,
just
I
not
mean,
my
it's a
style.
can't on some of these. It's a can't win system, and I feel bad that you're not
Can't win?
or no can't lose system. That's what I'm.
Yeah, Martingale can't lose.
Martingale can't lose
I'm missing out.
system. Yeah, you're missing out on.
I am
money,
missing
man.
out for sure on guaranteed money.
Yeah,
Guaranteed money.
guaranteed. Yeah,
Except for that darn table
except when
limit
you
and,
don't.
and bankroll.
Yeah, table limit and bankroll. Yeah. Maybe you
So
need,
this
like,
one
micro limit.
seems this D'Alembert
The Lambert.
so it feels a little more conservative than the Martingale. You know, you're only going up a unit. You're not doing a full reset. You know, you're backing down a unit. So it's a follow the trend thing. You know, I wouldn't criticize this one as much. It's not, you know, double. So it's not. I don't think this one is as risky and as scary. So I don't know that I would recommend it, but I wouldn't tell people. I wouldn't make a shirt for
Okay.
some friends.
Well, I will say this. I did watch one of the. I told you I was doing a little show prep, trying to get my mind wrapped around these, and I read some articles, read some stuff online. I did on Shackelford's thing. He had a simulator on the D'Alembert's thing, and he's got a little YouTube video, and I feel great because I'm one of like 81 people who've watched it. And but anyway, he goes through about $10,000 in about 7 minutes on that thing. So I think you can lose a lot on this one too.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with this one, but yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, just like anything,
Yeah, it's.
the dice
then
got to go in
again,
your favor.
Is there any system that, I mean, is this any worse or any better than any
No.
other systems?
No, I mean, no, the dice have got to go in your favor. So why not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Math guys have worked this one out. You know, what are the chances, you know, that you lose 8 to 10 in a row? If you feel that way and you have money and don't mind making $1,000 bet to win back 10, play the Martingale. Why not? I mean, you got a chance to win 10. Me, I bet $10 or think I know better than you. I don't. I don't. I can lose just as well with my 44 inside and come away with 0, where sure, you're betting a lot to win back 10, but hey, you win back the 10. So yeah, there's no, I'm wearing my Dicer hat, and I know there's other channels that are running software and simulation. There's other things out there, but I do like seeing that where you can plug in things and get some real feedback of what suits your style more.
Okay.
So I've really been, at the end of every one of my videos, you notice I run my standards, right? The 3-point Molly, which
The
is
Dolly.
3 points or 2 come bets, and then max odds, and then 3-point Dolly, you lay max odds, and then the Hedgehog, right, which is just pass. You're just alternating.
Yeah,
bets.
alternating. Don't pass, or don't come.
So, which is the right? Well, it just depends. When I throw it in the random number generator, sometimes that's the point. That's the gambling, right? If you're a 3-point Molly guy, sometimes it wins, it goes up and you win. And sometimes it comes in last and it goes down.
Yeah.
So, and the Dolly is the opposite, obviously. So it is nice to see when you can input and see like some of these things tend to be more conservative. That's what I look for.
Okay.
I don't like big variances. That's why I'm not a 3-point Molly guy like yourself. Just although you temper it a little bit because you don't do max.
I can't do
odds.
max odds. Yeah, I'm not that guy.
Right. So when you constantly everyone tells me, so they say in my comments, "Hey, you dummy, you got to play max odds." I mean, I don't think they understand fully, and I can go into the spiel about that, but like you got to play max odds. Well, all that increases volatility. So If you like the big ups and downs, that's how you like to play. That's the
Right.
strategy for you because you're going to have big swings. It's not a better. You're not guaranteed to win because none of them are going to guarantee.
I
None of
would
them
be
can
I
guarantee to
would be
win.
curious how if you put it on Dicer,
Mm-hmm.
the Martingale and Lambert and the Paroli. I would be interested to see if they bellied up more often
Mm.
than the
Well,
Dolly or the
I
Molly.
guess that's a challenge. We'll have to make a video and then get the builds done and just see how they stack up.
I mean, because
So
they are definitely the most famous. At least the Martingale is definitely the most famous, and the de Lambert has been rebranded as the latter.
mhm.
Um, so maybe they're
The
worth
other one I heard
a
of
look at.
Fibonacci. There's a nice. Does that sound as
Yes,
Italian? Is
yeah,
that? I
it's
think
a
that's the
yeah.
one where you like write the numbers down and then cross off.
No, no. What you do is you add them. So you
Or
start
is
off
that
with
the like the
one, and
shape,
then
the
you add
Fibonacci?
1 and 2, and then 2. Yeah, it's a shape thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
So then
Okay.
1 and 2 is 3, and the next number is 3, and then you add the 2 and the 3 is the 5, and then the
Yeah.
5
Okay.
and the
That's
3
right.
is the 8, and then you just keep
It
adding the
creates that
numbers.
like seashell shape.
Yes,
It's been used in a
exactly,
lot of different
exactly,
things.
exactly. Yep.
Mathematically, it creates
Yes.
the.
Yes.
Okay. And
It's
then
like
there's
the
that other
perfect
one
number
where.
in nature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So there are these things out there, but again, um, theory. These are all mathematical theories, and the casino goes, "Love your theory, but guess what? We're taking a percentage out of your wins, so you can't
Mm-hmm.
beat them, no matter how great the theory is." So all
We're
these
definitely not
strategies
going
are
to beat
nice
them.
ideas, and if you prefer, you're drawn to that idea. Hey, if you're the type of player who's like, you know what, I'll take my chances. There's no way this bet is going. It's not going to roll red 10 times in a row. No way. I believe in due theory, right? It's due for black to roll, right? So I would rather go that route. And if it rolls, I get burnt that way, I'm fine with that. I'll take my chances with that. So if you're that kind of player, then hey, that's the type of system for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's nothing wrong with choosing. I mean, we're all just personal preference. Add the last two bets when you go back to level. Yeah, see, I don't know. There's so many of these. Just
Different systems. Yeah.
yeah, and they're almost always built on the unit, right? And a lot of it's kind of roulette or baccarat based, but you can use it certainly on the pass or don't pass. So
So getting back to the main topic of betting systems,
yeah,
do you think anything we do at the table is part of a system, or
well,
is there advantage to using systems in play?
I, when we call them systems or strategies, I try to tell people it. I think that's just a term. If you bet the pass line, to me, that's a system. Well, my system is one bet, and I
Okay.
wait to see what it is when we call them systems or strategies. I think it's probably more accurate to call it money management. You're deciding on a way to manage your money instead of just like doing whatever, throwing money out there. You're going, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I'm gonna bet the pass line and the 6 and 8. I'm managing my money. I'm only betting 3 units. And then you have, a situation like, okay, if the 8 rolls and I win some money, I may cover the 9, right? So, you have that built into your system, and that's
Okay.
just you're managing your money. That's so, yeah, when we're talking about systems, I think it's just how you prefer to manage your money. That's why people are drawn to different systems, just like I explained earlier. Some people are like aggressive, press, 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 press. Hey, and if I walk away with nothing, that's fine. But if I get a positive trend
It's going to be a
in
killer
15
night.
rolls,
Yeah.
it's going to be a killer, and I'm going to make a lot of money. So they like to play that way. And
Okay.
some people are like, I'd rather manage my money where I'm betting half on the don't and then some points, and I get a few rolls, and if I walk away with 1 unit win, because I've hedged my bets, I'm cool with that because they like that. But I think it's essentially how you prefer to manage your money, and it's just personality based because there's no professionals.
Right.
So
And you can't overcome that house edge, no matter
Yeah, long
what
term you
system
can't.
you use. Yeah, you can't do it.
Pick your style of how you like to lose, right? I
Okay.
mean, to put it bluntly, but it should be pick your style of how you like to have fun gambling. The cool thing about gambling is you can win. Love it. That's what's so fun. That's why we play it, right? I'm not saying you can't win. I'm saying you're not going to make a living at gambling at craps. Is what I'm
Okay.
saying. Can you
Okay.
win? Absolutely. Can you get on a year's hot streak? Yes. God bless you. That's awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
How fun is that? If you've been on a roll where, man, I've went like the last 3 trips I've went on, I've won $500, $1,000 every time. Awesome. Um, and some people maybe tracked and they're like, for a couple years, I'm a conservative player, but over a couple years, I win every time, like $200. That's cool.
But
You
you're
know,
not going to live off
you're not gonna
$200.
live off
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what's fun. That's what's fun for them. So it's a gambling game, and you got a chance to win. If you go put your money, go to a movie, buy popcorn, have dinner before, whatever.
Ice cream at night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ice cream after to top it off. You have fun, but you got zero chance of getting any of your money back.
Right.
And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a different form of entertainment. But our preferred entertainment is you get, you get a chance,
Mm-hmm.
win back your money or plus some. I don't know. Did I get off too far? I don't even know what your question was.
No,
I think you were just talking about
yeah, systems in general, but I mean, it really, the
play what you want.
yeah, that's my
What's
thing
your
too. Yeah, because when I started doing this, I was kind of like you, because I had it in the back of my mind, Martingale's bad, and it's a very expensive way. It can be a very expensive way of doing it, but is it any better or any worse than the come bets that I do? It just depends on that particular moment in time, how the dice work. So I'm trying not to be as smuggy, judgmental player, and I'm trying to really live that life of you play however you want to play, and I'll play however I want to play. But like you, sometimes it bothers me. Like, do I want to double up after a loss?
Right.
Do I really want to do that, or can I do that, knowing my limited bankroll? So yeah, that's the thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way. But again, I'm trying to be more open, a kinder, gentler professor, and not be negative.
Judgmental is a good word about it because everyone's like, I've watched all the YouTube videos. I got a table at home. I practice. I know my twisted sister backwards 2-step strategy. And this jerk over here is just playing the field. What an idiot. They don't know anything. And then 20 rolls later, you're like, I'm down 500 for whatever reason. This lucky
He's the luckiest guy in the world.
Like
yeah.
this guy, we keep rolling 12s, and he's like, he turned around to get a drink and didn't made a bet, and it on the field, and there was no field number, and like, how is this guy so lucky? Whatever. It's just chance.
It's chance. It's random. Some people say it's random.
Yeah.
Like me. But hey, one other thing we forgot to mention, that we are powered by Sports Grid, ladies and gentlemen. And we're on Apple Podcast now, which is pretty cool, and all the other ones. Anyway.
Yeah, find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. We should be. So yeah, that's a good one. Good thing to mention. Anything else about these?
No,
yeah,
I think you need to put a bow around it, and we'll go to the monster roll.
Yeah, these they got fancy names, but they're just different ways to bet your money, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Hey, that's what they call gambling, I guess.
That's what they call
no
gambling.
No matter how you like to
but
play.
You got a chance.
You got a chance. However you like to play, good luck on coloring up, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What do we got here? Any comments from the monster? Oh, by the way, I do want to.
You said something about DiceCon, right?
Yeah, we could talk about that because we were in the middle of a conversation. Someone had brought up like the Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is they're they're like essentially, what is that, Tropicana Boulevard? So like,
Off the strip.
Yeah, they're off the strip, but they're down all the way down south. So you go down to like New York or Mandalay Bay, and then go, I don't know, east or west or whatever, west, I think, a couple blocks, and then it's out there.
So it's past where the Tropicana used to be.
The other way.
The other way. Okay, going the other way.
Yeah. Right. So it's like it's out there, and then and I know I've been trying to keep people downtown because it's a little cheaper and stuff. So I know a lot of people, it would be the opposite of downtown, but it might be fun to be there because it's all contained, right? So movie theaters and food and the gambling tables they have. Whether I can get staffing there, I mean, this is just a shot because haven't called them or anything, but I need to start calling them and say, hey, if you could staff and you could give us $10 tables, I could probably keep a good group to stick around for all those days.
Yeah.
Find good hotel rate because you really wouldn't have to, go anywhere. Mm-hmm. But some people do like to go around town. It's their Vegas trip. So I don't know. Or, I mean, I could do, Stations casinos. I know they've been kind of friendly a little bit with Casino Quest. So I might maybe able to get a hold of the right person there to, give us conference space, get us catered meals. And then, they have their own restaurants and then, all inclusive. Instead of just kind of some thoughts for DiceCon.
Are they affiliated with any of the other ones? Or are they the Orleans? Are they independent?
They may have some other ones. I don't know that they have any other in
I don't know if my Vegas. Caesar stuff would work with
no, not Caesar as MGM or anything like that. If they have some other
affiliations with like Golden Nugget or whatever.
Be Binions or something. I guess I got to look it up real quick now.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I want to say hey to Patty from Green, White, and Rolled across the pond. I don't know if he's still with us, but I swear Patty's a vampire. He doesn't go to sleep. I know his line of business is a pub, so it's always, 6 hours from us? Who knows? I don't know. So
the Orleans is a Boyd property.
Boyd. Okay, well, didn't we do some stuff? Because I get stuff from Boyd Properties. Like, which one downtown is one of the Boyd ones?
California, Fremont.
Okay, California maybe is the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, you got like Joker's Wild, Off Strip, Canary. Okay. And then there are a lot in the Midwest. The Ameristars in the Midwest, Kansas Star, Diamond Joe. And they got some Louisiana stuff.
Boyd is one of the ones that they just broke ground on a property here in Norfolk, Virginia. We're going to have our second casino.
Okay.
It's only going to be about like 3.5, 4 miles as the crow flies from the other casinos. So we're going to see what happens with business with the rivers.
Yeah. So that's just a thought. Okay. I don't know, but I'm thinking that I might, as far as DiceCon goes, is move it to a place where
a host property
that we don't travel. It'll just depend on, how much they can give us room, a conference room, and essentially cater dinner. Because I like to have those to bring us together.
Yeah, and the rest of the time, and if we can have some reserved tables or whatever.
Right, and that's kind of key. Is like, hey, I would love to bring you some conference and some catered meal business, but you gotta say, hey, you'll staff us with some dealers and have some tables for us. So, that's always the thing.
Maybe we'll get some comments and maybe you can put a survey out maybe in the Color Up Club Discord there.
Other than that, let's see.
All right.
We got a new club member who said he's from Virginia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, we got
add that into the Discord group.
Yeah, he's in Discord.
Okay.
And he, let's see, I asked him where he plays. He's only played a little bit. Rivers Casino in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Oh yeah, that's the one that's near me.
You?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in my backyard.
There you go.
Okay.
I'll have to reach out to him.
You'll have when we get off. You give me his Discord now.
Yeah, Thrine's on here. Yeah.
Yeah, Thrine's
the Virginia guy.
Yeah, that's right. The gentleman from Virginia. But let's see. And Dice Grinders was on here earlier and said hey. And so did Ray. And here's one here. Pete didn't like the system. when we were talking
Which
about
system? Which one?
that Martingale. He was on
Okay.
there at the beginning when we were talking about Martingale. Yeah. And then Holy Roller Brian, when we were talking about it, said definitely doesn't work on even money bets. Yeah.
I think he did a conversation starter, right?
Let's see. I'd like to think of a system, something you follow no matter what happens. The strategy is more fluid. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if he's put more thought to it than I have.
Yeah. Have to get out my thesaurus and
Yeah, to see the exact definitions or whatever. But
that one.
There are differences. So it makes it difficult. For instance, when I get dice advice, if you'd like to submit your favorite strategies, I'm looking for Crap with Scraps. But you can go to my website, colorup.club, and go on and fill out a dice advice form. So sometimes I get, what did he call them?
A system?
Systems, which are easy to replicate and build, because it's like no matter what,
rules.
there's these 5 steps, right? So it's very easy to comprehend it and then roll it out for a Color Up video. And then there's other things that are like, well, if this happens, you can either do this, this, or this. And then if one of these, you could do this, this, or this. And I'm like, huh? It's like, so it's very hard to relay that information when a lot of it's like gut feeling or whatever. It's like a hunch or whatever. It's like, well, when you come to this point, you could do this or this. And it's like, okay, well, what do you do? It's like, well, I don't know. It depends on, if the drink waiter came by, or, if I'm up or if I'm down, or so there certainly is a difference, I guess, in these strategies or systems where some are more fluid and some are like
we could tell
dogmatic.
We could tell which ones are more fluid and which ones are, because when you get in there, when you're doing the video, you say at the beginning, well, he doesn't really say what to do with this happens. Or if you get into the video a little bit later, you're rolling it, and he said, didn't really say, but we're going to go ahead and press, or we're going to go ahead and regress, or
Sometimes I'm like, this
you're
is what I would do, I guess.
Yeah, you're winging it. Yeah. So, yeah, Brian, I hear you, man. A system is, no matter what happens, do this with these steps. And a strategy is something that
again, we have to double check him. We have to check the thesaurus to see if that's accurate.
Check
he
that
may have him. He may even have him backwards. I don't know.
dictionary.
He's a smart guy. He may have him that more accurate than not. But
Yeah, you
there
never
are
know.
differences between more fluid and the more dogmatic ones for sure.
Mhm.
So they probably should be categorized a little better.
I love this one, Jeff. This one, Jeff W. said, hey, it's fun watching someone bet the don'ts on their rolls and they keep hitting the points. And it's one of those, stop it, just stop it. And that one's just crazy. Yeah. Or they do a bunch of don't come bets, and then, like I said, I've only done it a few times, and then pick them all off one at a time. That's when you go on the heater.
Which is weird, because I think that's one of the advantages of being a don't player is you have like a built-in stopgap, right? It's like the 3-point dolly or something. Like, okay, you get your 3 don'ts established. Like, you could be like, I'm done. Yes. I'm not losing any more money than that, right? I'm not going to let the guy knock off 3 numbers and continue to follow it up, right? So it's almost like built in.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas past line, you could put all your come bets, they all get knocked off, and then the strategy is you got to put more up. They could all get knocked down, where the other guy, he's got a built-in limit for him. So it is funny whenever they repeat.
Oh my God!
Everybody
else at the table's going wild. And, when to throwing them $100.
Now, I've certainly lost
Yeah.
shooting from the dome, because I do it sometimes. But at some point, I'm not gonna keep throwing and hitting
Banging your
myself
head
off the
off.
dome. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got on here. Here's one here. Royce said he watched a guy betting green chips in the field last night. He got up over 1,500, but lost it all in the end. What? Oh my gosh!
How do you not stick that?
How do you
pumpkin
not?
or that banana, that $1,000 chip in your pocket?
I don't know.
And just bet the 500.
I don't know.
Or heck, how do you not put $500 in your pocket?
But you think about it, starting with green chips, he must have been. That must have been a lot of field numbers in a row.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because unless he was hitting a lot of 2s and 12s, and they were triple on one of them,
Yeah, if he's not, or
that's
at some point he
remarkable.
progressed to black chips, but still, heck of a string of field numbers for a while
Mm-hmm.
there,
And
and then
here's
gave it
another one.
back. Oh,
Dice Grinder says, as long as you don't reach the table limit or your bankroll, guaranteed win.
yeah, perfect
Get your
strategy.
$100 or $10 or 20 or whatever you start with. That's what you get, right?
Yep. Or if you're online, 25 cents, right?
Mm-hmm.
$100 to win 25 cents.
It's crazy. Let's see. And then Thrine, of course, said, hey, another Virginia gentleman up there. So big shout out to our Virginia guys. Let's see who else is on here. Basically the ladder. Sounds a lot like a Whalen strategy. Yeah, I don't know if Whalen's rolled that one out specifically.
Wayland's the guy who does a lot of laddering, right? Negative progression betting.
He does a lot of everything. No, he does everything.
Oh, I'm
everything.
thinking. Who am I thinking?
No, that's not Whalen. He does a little bit of everything. I'm trying to think of who you were talking about on that one, but you see,
his videos are always like, when you lose, just double, and then eventually you win.
Yeah,
or, double or add or whatever, and it does, and it rarely ever bites you, but when it bites hard.
Now, one of our Facebook users, and I got an idea maybe who that might have been, said he hates losing, talking about you, and then he always follows the trends, huh? So I'm guessing that might be our number one Facebook. It could be our number one Facebook fans, because then a little while later the person said, "Hi guys."
Yeah, but so, why is it all
I don't
incognito?
know. I'm thinking that might be our
Holy Roller says, yeah, Whalen is the ladderer with the
he is
bracket.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the ladder guy.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, I got to figure out who this Facebook person, because a little while later they jumped off and said bye. So could be one of two people I'm thinking about.
Royce said to check out John Patrick's books. He has great advice and rules to play by. Yeah, I've got like 3 John Patrick books there.
Mm-hmm.
Conservative guy, but I like his way to play.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Then Shep said opening night or closing events might suffice for that. So he was one of our...
As far as DiceCon?
Yeah, he was going back to DiceCon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, we had I got a chance to meet and talk to Shep this year, and then we both had early flights on Southwest. So we got a chance to hang out at the airport a little bit as we were leaving on the last day, whatever day it was. Not last day. I think I left Friday this past year. So, yeah, here we go. Boyd is, yeah. Thanks, Neo. Fremont, California, Main Street.
Oh, is it Main Street too?
That's what he said.
Yeah, I don't see that on their list here, but
that's what he put.
Joker's Wild, Gold Coast, Suncoast, California, Fremont. Oh, yeah, Main Street.
There you go.
Aliante, Canary, Samstown, and the Orleans is in Vegas.
Yeah. And then our buddy Ken, Wary Buyer, said hello. So that was cool. Yeah, and Ken was our first time, went to DiceCon for the first time. He's relatively new club member and relatively new player. I got a chance to play with him and some of the other guys at Ellis, and we crushed it. So we had a good time.
It always makes for a nice DiceCon.
Oh my gosh, yeah! When you're when you're crushing it, oh my god, yeah. I got so lucky this past DiceCon.
Although I get the feedback. I lost, all week, but I still had a good time. That's what I like to hear. But yeah, it's a double. It's a bonus when you can also win.
Yeah. Oh, it's a heck of a bonus. It's a heck of a bonus. But yeah, we had a great time.
I probably won't make any plans or phone calls until January. I'll although I probably should. But
I know.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking is finding one spot stopping, one
Do you,
spot shopping.
do you think one of those ones, if you're going to stay downtown, you think one of those downtown ones would do something for you, or it's not really? They
Well,
don't
I
have the
mean,
staff.
yeah, yes and no. Where have I been? Four Queens and
The one across the street, which
the
is
one across
Binion's.
Binion. So they'd love to have me, and they'll cater and they'll give me room.
Mm-hmm.
But for them, I think they only have 2 tables max at both places. They can't.
Yeah, dude, but
Even
so
if
much.
they were fully staffed, they couldn't
Cover it.
accommodate all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's tough.
How about the Circa? Are we that big yet that we can get some notice at the Circa?
They always say they're willing to talk. The first time I dealt with them, it was not a
Easy.
good experience
Okay.
because they have Circa, D,
Mm-hmm.
Golden Gate. So they have 3 properties. But this last time, I know Pouncer, just hooked up with one of the pit managers, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we'd love to have you guys. We can staff and stuff." So, and they have more tables, so they're an option to at least have a reserved date. But I don't know.
And
if
we could do the Dice Con again, like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever we did, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever you did, maybe that's
Monday,
an off
Tuesday,
day.
Wednesday.
Yeah, maybe that's an off day for them, or a slower day. Maybe they would be willing.
And that's why I do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's off prices for the hotels. It's off prices for everything.
Mm-hmm.
The best dealers, in my opinion, were at Ellis. Well, that's because they keep their own tips, right? They've got longtime dealers who
know how to do it, treat people right.
Yeah, so they don't have to share with the dopey blackjack
Dealer
card
who's
Monty
just
dealers,
standing, standing around doing
So
nothing for half the night.
They have great incentive
Mm-hmm.
to give you good customer service, and that's why I think they do a good job there. And now they're about to expand, or in their middle of their expansion. I don't think they're going to be done by this June. So their meal, they catered us like a brunch.
They did a nice job on the
it
on the
was
food.
it was
I like
nice.
that. Yeah, I like.
And then they took care of us down. I don't know if that would be a place that we can
count on.
But they don't have like a enclosed
meeting room. Yeah,
meeting room. I kind of preferred that than that kind of open space.
Yeah.
And they were more expensive.
Oh, really?
Pretty expensive. Yeah, per
Okay.
plate. I'm like, because I hate passing that price on to DiceCon people.
Yeah.
But their price was pretty high for that brunch, and so I'm like, I don't know. Seems like you can do a little better for me, but I don't know. It's weird. I know you go, this meal's $25 meal. I'm like, it's weird whenever you would think. You go, hey, I'm going to bring 100 people to eat this meal. You go,
$20. Yeah,
should be cheaper,
20.
but it doesn't work that way. It's like, guess what?
Up.
Now the price is $75 a plate. And I'm like,
but if we all showed up individually,
we go
separate checks. Yeah.
Right, separate checks.
100 separate
it's $25,
checks.
But so that's the kind of the downfall of bringing a large group is. But they got to make whatever.
Yeah,
that's just how it works.
Money. Yeah, that's
how it works. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Let's see what else is going on.
But I would like to maybe hit up one of these places that has 8 tables and can staff 4 of them all at once. Like how I don't think we've had 2 side by side. Maybe 2.5 at Circa last year. But to have 4 or 5 tables. That would be
that's
really
a lot
fun.
to ask. Yeah. Now I will say this: I've seen, and they would never do it at Cherokee, but I sing Cherokee's praises, and it's been a while since I've been there, so I've got to get a trip. I usually go on the MLK weekend down there, but they've got 8 tables, I think, and there some nights every one of them's full. Jeremy,
Yeah,
I mean it's incredible the electricity in that place just based on the craps table alone, not to mention this giant casino that I would put on par with a lot of the Vegas places. It's an incredible property, but yeah, who knows, maybe we can try to have different
Yeah, I
things
went.
all
I
day.
talked to the guys at Win. I think they have a dozen tables, and they're like, I could fill 10 of them. And like, they said, yeah, but the minimum table is going to be 25. And then they're like, we might have to make it 50. I'm like, wait, you're going the
What?
wrong way, buddy.
Yeah. Why?
You need to come the other way if I'm going to bring 100 players. But they're like, yeah, we can't. There's no way we could do it for less than 25.
Wow.
I mean, I don't.
Hmm. Well,
So
or maybe it's kind of deal. Maybe we have, have like a color up lottery or something, and we just get together and you go to one casino, you go to the other casino, and we say, hey, look, we need 10 people. The first 10 want to go to this property. Let's go, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it could do
yeah.
something like that, or
It always
16,
works itself
16.
out. I mean,
Yeah, it
there's a
does. It
casino
does.
with go wherever you want, go where you have comms, go. So
Mhm.
some of partly of it, I don't stress about it too much because it is what it is. So that's the good news is like I don't have to have 5 reserved tables every day, all
Right.
day.
Yeah, because
So
there's enough. You bounce around, you figure it out.
yeah. So it does work itself out, but I would like to get an opportunity for more of us to stick together. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
it'd be fun. And that's one of the things Thrain had on his thing. Is the best part's about being around the table with friends. Absolutely on that one. Let's see.
Yeah, we've been
Biloxi,
talking
yeah.
about Biloxi. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Biloxi. I love
I
Biloxi.
haven't been, and
You
it's
got to get there.
embarrassing.
We got to get you for a regional, color up regional event down there because
I mean, I love for someone to take the reins and like kind of,
make it happen.
yeah. I mean, I'll put my weight behind it if I just.
We got to figure out a date and all that good stuff because there is the premier property down there is Beau Rivage, I think. I think it's the biggest and the nicest one. And
Okay.
then there's also a Caesars down the other end.
What's Beau Rivage?
It's a MGM.
Okay.
And right across the street, it's a little AA or single A ballpark. It's at the end of the strip. After that, you've got the beach, which you can walk to. But yeah, it's and in between, there's probably a dozen right there, right on the water, and then you've got going back up the other way, and they have a trolley that runs up and down the strip. It's like $2 or something, and you can take all the time you want. But
So, I mean, whenever there's a large bunch of casinos, I mean, really all it would entail is essentially meet at the beginning or the end.
at the end, yeah.
Right. So if I can get a little space, maybe it's food or a restaurant or something to reserve or whatever, that's kind of all we need to get everyone together, at least probably at the beginning, at least minimum.
Yeah.
And then go, hey guys, have a good time. See you around town at the various casinos and hey, take down someone numbers or
because I guarantee you, no matter where you play, there's probably, whether it's Planet Hollywood or whatever, there's probably a property that's associated with that. Golden Nugget. I think that was the first one down there, but all kinds of stuff. But yeah, maybe somebody will grab
Palace is popular. It's non-smoking. Is it? Are most of them?
No, they
I guess he called it out by name because that's
yes, there's a
rare.
lot of them down there that smoke. Yeah, there's a lot down there that smoke, and that was one of the things I didn't like about it. But that's one of the things I like about Cherokee. They don't let them walk around smoking like that. So, this is a funny one here. Thrawn said, "What do you do when the table goes cold? I guess when you're playing these systems, you go home because you run out of money, because these systems can get very expensive like that when the table is cold for whatever strategy that you're using." Yeah, that's what I think on that one. Let's see what else is on. Oh, we got a lot more comments that are coming in. Let's see. Ice cold, yeah.
I guess I just need to pick a date, right? So, and usually, find out what peak season is for Biloxi, and then trying to find a little bit off season so it's not, people can use their comps and it not be super expensive.
Oh, we saw the Facebook user Rebecca said that. Okay.
I wonder why everything's showing up that way.
I don't know. But aloha
Yeah.
to Rebecca. She knows what that code means, by the way. Yeah.
Well, there was 20 seconds of silence, so I think we've come to the end.
Yeah. Pretty sad. Pretty sad. No, I was reading comments. That's why I was silent. Yeah. Now, Larry Breyer Ken said the DiceCon downtown experience was pretty good. So that's if you want to keep it the same old, same old. So
Right.
yeah, let's see what else is going on here.
See, now this is confusing.
Okay,
So maybe there's something wrong with our system that today Facebook's not
is
pulling in
yeah
the user data properly or something. There's
yeah
some sort of issue
that was
there.
earlier though, right?
No,
That-
that one just popped up.
Huh. So maybe the first one was Rebecca, and then the
Or
second
it was
was
both of
Naomi.
them. Yeah, I don't know. But either way, yeah, for whatever reason, we're not getting their user data is not getting pulled in or whatever. Is either our problem with what I use as StreamYard or there's a problem in the Facebook world. I don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, it seems like Thrine said he would help out with the East Coast Conference.
Yeah, that's what
if
everyone
we ever
says.
have one. Yeah. No, but Thrine would. Thrine would. He's a
And
good
I'm sure
guy.
he would. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. But
how do you
Where-
begin? Where do you start? Like, what do you
yeah.
need help with? Like, I don't know.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Regional meetups, dice.
What do we have for next week?
As far as the date?
Oh no, I just mean the show. What are we doing for our show?
Oh. I don't
Have
think
we haven't picked a topic.
we
yet,
haven't
have
picked
we?
a topic. You guys got a suggestion? What do you want to hear from Mr. Color Up?
Where he said he's in Alabama. Is AL
Yeah.
Alabama?
Yeah, Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's right
Roll
there.
Tide, which is right next to Mississippi. So he's close in theory, depending on what part of Alabama is in. But yeah, Ken could help us out on that.
Yeah, I guess this just comes down to
Picking a
date
date.
that's a little
Yeah.
bit off season, I think.
Okay.
But decent weather. Well, no, it doesn't have to be decent weather, but because we go to Vegas at its hottest point.
Yeah, that's true too. And
Um,
I've gone down to Biloxi when it's really hot.
Yeah, you
Down there, too.
down there you get the humidity too. So
Oh yeah, it's a different kind of
bring
heat.
a lot of change of shirts.
Yeah, oh my gosh, but they've got a beach, nice sandy beach down there, and
Yeah, that sounds appealing.
there's no shade on that beach unless you run a little umbrella. But let's see, what is
Good
that
night,
one there?
Thorne.
It said Neo said something about. Thank you, Thron.
Neo said he'd go to a. Yeah, there you go.
Halfway event, DiceCon. Maybe never been to Biloxi. Only thing about Biloxi is what's the word I'm looking for? The airport is not like a super big one, so it's not going to have any direct flights. So it's going to be kind of expensive.
People
I
go to
think.
New Orleans.
You could go to New Orleans about an hour, and I think when I drove it was an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Drive, but I did it. I rented a car, and Bonnie Boo and I, went on down, and we had a blast. And actually, the big property down there used to be, it was Harrah's, and then they switched it over to, I think it's just called Caesar's, right? Is that what it's called now? Does anybody know?
I mean, one thing good about having this kind of a little bit of organization would be like, hey, there's enough people, rent a limo bus thing and,
Yeah.
Get a group of 6 to 10 people can at least, oh yeah, I'm in the airport about that time, and then can split,
Mhm.
the ride
And
over.
Ken is right, depending on where you go, because I've done it both as an MGM and a Caesar. Because I haven't played at MGM a lot lately, I haven't been getting any free flight offers. But I could get in theory, I could get a week. It depends on the days. Get down there.
Yeah, again, I think that comes down to like off season helps, right?
Yeah, I think
Avoiding
so.
the peak times.
But right now, I've been getting. Well, maybe it now is off season. I don't know, but I've been getting offers. Seems like every weekend to go down to Biloxi,
Okay.
I just don't have, or not weekend, but every week to go Biloxi necessarily. But yeah,
Well, if off season is,
we got to figure out. Yeah, if
fall,
it's
late
now,
fall, that might
we got to
be.
figure. Might be too late for this year, but we could
Yeah.
maybe look at it for next year. But we can tell we've really got the audience engaged because when I asked for ideas for next week's show, they're like, "Hey, man, I'm not even sure about this week's topic." There, Chief. So, but yeah, if you got anything, let us know. We'll do it. If not, we will do our research and find out what's on everybody's minds. Yeah.
Or we just do whatever we want.
Or we can do whatever we want. That's right. Or we could do a show about nothing, Jeremy. Have you ever thought about that?
Thought has crossed my mind.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Some people said we've executed it already.
Yeah. Wait, your show was about something?
Yeah. Yeah. Could be it.
I don't have the numbers. I don't know how how our podcast is doing. So
you haven't checked with Apple and all the other places?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this.
Top 10 lists yet, but
at least every one of the episodes, I think I've listened to every one, I think at least twice all the way through.
Oh, look at you.
I'm committed. But, yeah. But I do it when I'm walking the dog sometimes, or if I'm cutting the grass. I've been cutting the leaves. I should say mulching the leaves because the leaves have just been.
What are you listening for?
down.
You've already, we said it. Like, what are you listening
Well,
back
I'm
to?
critiquing.
Okay.
Critiquing myself and just
Okay.
kind of listening. And,
You haven't given me any suggestions how to improve, so.
No. Well, you're flawless.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're flawless. I'm worried
I don't
about
know
my
about
game,
that.
not yours. So, yeah. But I'm working on it.
Mhm.
But there you go. But yeah, powered by sports. Oh yeah, everybody and Jeremy is on Sports Grid TV.
You verified it this
I
week.
verified it. I found it, and it was very close for me watching it at 4 a.m. It was I think his time is on my time anyway. It was 4 a.m. But I don't know if you have multiple shows.
Yeah,
or not.
that 4 a.m. sounds like a rerun.
Rerun. Okay.
So they run 2 episodes a week, and I think they're not bad for West Coast people. I think it's like 9 or 10.
Okay.
I think you guys, I think it's like it might be Tuesday at midnight, and then some other day at like 1 a.m.
Okay.
And then they like rerun them
All
at
right.
different time slots. So 4 a.m. sounds like it's
It had to be a rerun.
yeah, I think.
Okay. But, I mean, if you're on the West Coast, guys, if you're leaving the casino 12, 1 o'clock, you might be able to catch it in the hotel room.
Yeah, just turn it to Sports Grid and leave it there.
Yeah. Just let it roll.
Let's get some help on sports betting.
Yeah. I mean, it can hurt, right? Can hurt.
Yeah, I don't know if those guys know anything more than anyone else, but supposedly they're the professionals.
Well, they do it very confidently.
Yeah, they do it confidently.
Yeah.
And they don't
Very
sell
true.
you the best; they just tell you who to bet on. So
Mm-hmm.
it's up to you.
Unlike
whether to take
some
their
of the
advice.
paid betting systems, right?
Yeah, true. Their advice is is worth what you pay for it, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's not overpriced, I should say.
It's free. The price is right.
Everyone like Jim's glasses? I do. Sharp. Maybe it's because it matches the shirt. I don't know. It just feels like you're
and
very put together.
It's like the earbuds, or not earbuds, ear things. And
Mhm.
And by the way, you can get these at Dollar Tree if you have like a $1.50, $2.
There you go.
Yeah. So I tried it with my regular glasses, but they were terrible because the monitor's too far away, and I couldn't read what's here, and I couldn't with my bifocals. And I said, "Sweetheart, I got to go put my contacts
So those
back
are
in."
specific
Yeah,
strength, so you can read on the podcast.
Yeah, these are 1.5. So,
Okay, there you go.
We're zeroed in on there. Absolutely.
We've been talking about nothing for a few minutes, and I've noticed we haven't lost any viewers. So apparently they don't mind us talking about nothing, because we're literally stalling at this point. We should have signed off and closed this, and
Oh yeah.
I'm sure Jim has better things to do.
No, I don't.
I'm
I know.
debating
I'm off tomorrow. It's Veterans Day. I'm just hanging out here.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
Yeah.
okay. Nice.
Yeah. So I'll probably go in, cut on the watch the
Oh,
end of the
we're
football
gaining
game.
viewers actually. So I've now. Well, I'll tell the audience this. I
Yeah, go
told you
ahead.
this. Through this doorway is the little hallway, and then another bedroom that my kids have left, and so I've moved my stuff from the garage up into this room. So now I'm watching football and listening. My table is now over here. My craps table, my studio setup. So it's 90% set up. And actually, this time I flipped the layout around so it's set up on crapless. So
Okay.
the trick is, I got to position the camera and then do test recordings and make sure it's all lined up. And I should do that tonight. And I'm thinking, why do today what you can put off till tomorrow? So I'm thinking, if I just sit on here and hang out and then maybe go to get some dinner, and then I'm like, it's too late. I'll watch Sunday Night Football, and then probably I won't get to the work that I should be doing. So that's what I'm right there.
We actually have a topic suggestion. He hit the cough button. Random topic from Neo says he just started introducing bubble craps machines to casinos here in Chicago area. You like bubble craps? I think you've done videos on bubble craps.
Yeah, I love them. Why not?
Yeah. Well, it's not craps. That's why not.
Yeah, there's no dealer. There's no chips. There's a lot of drawbacks.
And depending on which propaganda or the charter is for those things, they're rigged, right? They're not random.
I guarantee you they're rigged.
Yeah.
At least 1.4% rigged.
Yeah. Well, that's the same as a regular table.
Exactly.
We'd be lucky if they were that rigged, right?
Yeah. I can't speak for all jurisdictions, but I can tell you in Nevada they're not rigged.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you're really highly conspiratorial, and those people are like, if you believe that the Nevada Gaming Commission's not in on it with everyone, then you got another. And I can't refute that,
Mm-hmm. Oh, Shep coming in with an idea. They just put up stadium craps here at the Jack in Cleveland. Okay. So, what's your thoughts on stadium craps? Is that doing anything for you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Now it's you say we don't like bubble craps, but now you've eliminated the questions. Is it rigged? And is it real? Well, yeah, because now you got someone who gets to throw the dice.
Yeah, it's real dice. To me, that's better than bubble craps.
Oh, for sure. And obviously the casinos are adapting to this because they're seeing, what do people want? Well, it's a dice game. Someone's got to throw the dice. So now they're getting the best of both worlds. Someone's throwing the dice, and yet we don't have the chips. We only need one dealer, and we can have players. There's no mistakes. All the bets are getting paid right.
Mm-hmm.
And people at terminals. It actually takes up more space though than 16 although
regular
nowadays
table.
there's rarely you don't fit 16 people at a table anymore.
No, I would say
it's like
6
12.
and 6, 12. Yeah, 12 is what I would say.
Yeah. Just because we're the fattening of America.
Now, on your stadium craps that you've played, have you noticed like they have a wall or anything in between the one end of the table and the other one, so they can't just like reach over and because the table's very small on the stadium.
Yeah,
crap
they're
ones.
usually like 8 foot smaller tables.
If that, yeah, it seems like they're pretty small.
So what do you mean a wall?
Well, I've seen them with plexiglass in between, like halfway through, so you kind of have to throw underneath the plexiglass.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I saw that. And Thrine's gone, I'm sure by now, but maybe I think I saw that at National Harbor.
Okay, I was just at let's see, who has it? Planet Hollywood, and the next to it was Horseshoe, maybe, or Paris. They both had it. I didn't. They have plexi walls, so someone doesn't just like the dice don't go crazy. But I didn't notice.
I thought there was one in the middle or something, but I might be wrong.
Who knows?
On that. Yeah,
could be.
Maybe they're worried about controlled dice controllers on there, and that's why they had the plexiglass barrier. Keep them.
Well, they should be, right? All these people are like Jeremy, your rolls aren't real because they're only 3 feet. And I'm like, trust me, if they hit that wall, that's random. And they're like,
That's random.
that's
Yeah.
no, because in Vegas, all the tables are 12 foot. I'm like, no, in Vegas, they have 4 foot tables. They're
Yeah.
like, what? Yeah. So if you think distance is a thing and you want to be a dice controller, go play in the tub tables. They're a thing. 4 foot. If close means you can control them better, you should be able to go clean up because they exist. And the casinos have them, and they're not worried about the distance that you're throwing the dice.
Mm-hmm. And then Neo said, all of these places, Planet Hollywood, Treasure Island, Sahara, Venetian, all have stadium crabs.
Yeah, it's starting to be a thing. I mean, a lot of people had the roll to win.
Yeah.
Expensive
Yeah,
maintenance.
that was Weary's thing. Hey, he
likes
prefers
it?
roll to
Okay.
win better than stadium crab.
Hmm.
At least you're closer to the people. It's like you're around the table. I think you
Yeah,
are.
I mean, a few feet, but I mean, I've seen stadiums where the units are stacked up. I mean, you're very close.
Okay.
I mean, the shooter's not close usually, but I don't know. It depends on the setup, how the stadium is set up, right?
And then Ken saying playing with people at the live tables, what's pulled him in. Yeah, that's
for sure.
Yeah,
that's what the game is. We're talking about alternatives because, and usually it comes down to price. Like, right, the table's 15, 25. You got an option to play 5 or 10. You can go to this other table. Otherwise, if they're the same price, if you're a craps player, you want the real thing. So it's a cheap substitution.
Yeah.
But it has a couple of things. You can do your crazy strategies. You could be a don't player. No one cares. There's some, if you're a beginner and you're nervous.
I don't like one of the things I don't like about the screen is this, they rush you and they got the countdown and, I don't know. I don't like that. So, but it's better. Like a couple times I mentioned going to New Orleans. I went there one time. They had like $50, 2 tables open. They had $50 minimums, and I was like, I ain't playing that.
Yeah, I'll play your dollar
I went
bubble
to the
machine.
I went to the I went to the roll to win thing over there.
Yeah,
played for 5 or whatever. Yeah. So, what else is on here? What do you guys think about? I don't know about this one. What do you guys think about Fremont Casino replacing one of their regular tables with a roll to win table? Change of times?
And I hate to hear when they replace a table. Usually it's just like we're adding an additional table.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they first started coming up, people were like, we're losing dealer jobs and that. I'm like, no, they're just adding one additional job because they're usually an addition. So it's a bummer when they replace it. But, Casino Quest talks about this all the time. Like they're short, like it's not like hundreds of dealers. They're short thousands of dealers.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah. So
the dealer school here at Rivers, they have one at the TCC at Rivers Casino, Tidewater Community College. They have a program with the casino, and the course is free. When they first opened up the casino, they were charging for it. I don't know what they were charging, but now it's free. Now, I actually thought about going over there and learning how to be a dealer because they said at this casino at Rivers, I talked to a guy who just left there. He said you can pick whatever game. If you're more cross-trained, you get higher pay and stuff. But if you just like blackjack and want to do blackjack, you could do that. But I thought about going through their training just to, go through it, and that might be something interesting. Then I wouldn't be able to play there, but I really don't play there anyway. So I've only been twice in a year and a half, or actually going on 2 years in February. So maybe I need to get out there again or something, but.
Yeah, I've thought about that here. The GSR has a school, and I'm like, it'd be cool to go through it, but then they want a real commitment of, you don't have to be a full-time dealer, but they do want, you would be in it, they want an employee. Right. And I'm like, I'd love to like do 2 hours on this night and then, make my own schedule, but they can't, it's too much work and not enough benefit for them to.
I wonder since it's free, like that's one thing maybe I should look into is like find out what is the commitment.
Yeah.
If it's free, do they make you sign something? And
Right. As long as yeah, I mean, if you have to sign a commitment, it's one. But if it's like, if it's right to work or whatever, you go through the
yeah, in
school and go, you
Virginia,
know what?
yeah.
I've decided I don't. It's not my thing. There's certainly nothing wrong with that, right? You should be able to quit.
So,
if
so
you
my
wanted to,
buddy,
but-
my buddy who was I didn't know he was a dealer. He was a roulette dealer and did some other stuff. But he made it fun. But he just stopped doing it. And I think in Virginia, you can't go to you can't go to the casino that you quit for, I want to say 60 or 90 days and gamble.
Oh,
There's
okay.
like a cooling off period. They don't want you being in cahoots with the
Yeah.
because
You know the
the
inside
operations. Yes,
stuff, yeah.
that's right. You know the operations and all. Yeah.
I you probably have to be some sort of corporation. You might have to have a license to buy a roll to win setup. From what I understand, it's $1 million lease.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and most of them went out because of, I mean, it was him actually. The maintenance, they're always breaking down, and the problem is a lot of Vegas places put them in during the pandemic, and they were waiting on stuff to be shipped out from overseas parts. They couldn't get them, so the machines are down weeks at a time, and they're like, nah, not worth the hassle and the cost. So that's why a lot of them went away.
Yeah, the one they had at Cherokee I loved, but it's been last time we were in Cherokee, there was a snowstorm, so we had to leave early to get up over the mountain and get home. But I love that one. I mean, they had a big giant monitor. It's probably as big as my room in here, and it was over top, and the lights are going all over the place. I mean, it's incredible.
Nice.
Yeah. Our casinos pricing out live tables. Seems like the live tables are often $25, $50 minimums.
JB, you're in the East Coast, aren't you?
Yeah, he would have to be, right? I would think so, because
So people were afraid of this. They're like, prices will never come back down. During pandemic, prices skyrocketed. And then everyone's like, oh my gosh, they're never coming down. And I said, I promise you, they're coming down. They're coming down. It's just competition. It's free market. And sure enough, they have come down. Vegas has a lot of $10 tables. There's still local casinos that have $5 tables. It's just, that's how you draw customers. You got a better service, or you got a lower price. So, when you're talking $25, $50 table, that's just because they can. That's pure casino greed. A lot of times it happens the East Coast. You have a market with limited options, and so they can do it. And if the tables are full, why should they lower the prices? But $5 tables exist in this world, in America, because they are profitable.
how about this?
If you could make a profit at 5,
you can make a
better profit at 10, better at 15,
in theory.
And so on.
Elasticity. It depends on the demographics of
right.
Your
So how many showing up,
area.
and how many can afford it, and how right. So they do that because they can, and people continue to show up. That's why I'm like, just say no, boycott $25.
And they'll get them back down.
But it would take everyone to not show up for them to lower, and then next thing you know, they'll be, hey, guess what? It's a $15 table. I wonder why.
Well, how about this with I don't know if you noticed, but there was a little presidential election this past week. And
it seems like it's been like forever ago. Was that Tuesday? And now it's Sunday?
It was Tuesday, yeah.
So less
Sunday,
than a week ago.
So less than a week. So this past Tuesday.
Was craps on the ballot anywhere?
No, but no tax on tips.
Okay.
Was one of the big things.
Okay.
If you think about the dealers and like your son, I don't know what the percentage is that they would hold back on tips, but they keep track of all that stuff.
So this is related. Labor costs are driving live tip, but they're not raising labor costs because dealers are almost everywhere. Their minimum wage or just slightly above minimum wage. So they haven't changed these people's
salaries
in years.
But no tax on tips.
That could be a
big
thing.
One. Could be a thing, right?
Because their primary
is
income. My son's certainly I think he's got it's $1 above minimum wage here in Nevada.
Okay.
Here in Reno, I think that's what he said. And then he goes, yeah, the it's all tips. That's how I make my money.
But it's different when when a waitress or waiter gets a server, I should say, gets cash tips. Do they always put it on their things to get
Right.
taxed? Where corporation like a casino
Yeah.
is probably saying,
Oh,
"Hey,
they
this."
know. And
Yeah,
so,
they
yeah,
know.
they
They're
take it
gonna.
out.
They take it out. But if it's no tax on tips, that could be significant to a lot of people. I think it could be a significant, and especially if you're talking about overtime, no tax on overtime.
Yeah. And I think both candidates were talking about that, or one mentioned and the other
Well, I
one
think
mentioned
one
it, or
mentioned it.
whatever.
Yeah, one did it first, and then the other one did it afterwards. I think, but
Yeah.
it's not a political show.
No,
So
to y'all's point, I think the minimum tail also filters out. Yeah, and there's some people there's reasons, like, right, like they're like, well, we don't want the people who are like making a $5 bet and then playing prop bets for $1 and filling up our table.
and then
We don't
arguing
want that.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah, like so we'd rather have a $15 empty table because we want that kind of clientele. So you know, some places, Maryland Live, or is full of politicians or whatever. They're like, we only want $50 clientele, right?
yeah.
And they could do that, and people will still fill up the tables.
The Caesars at in New Orleans, which used to be when I was there, was Harrah's. I walked into that place and they were like $25, and I was just like, "There's nobody at the table. What are they doing?" Well, they're keeping out the people they want to keep out, which I guess was the locals or the drunks or whatever. People give them some money and they just want to come in, get lucky one time on one number, or standing there $20 trying to 4 pass line bets or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, I think that you're right. They do it as a way of keeping some people away,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just it. Somebody else, Neo put something else down. What did he put?
They wanted to close the table.
He raises. Oh yeah,
Run everyone off.
yeah. Hey,
Place
they
like
gotta
Fremont,
go sleep
yeah.
too. Yeah, got to go. Yeah, the next shooter, it'll be a $50 minimum.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. That's a nice way of doing it. Oh, somebody put something about the. Was it on the cruising? I saw. Did I see something about cruising earlier?
I didn't see that one.
I don't know if I did. Yeah, here it said, I'm starting to think that cruise ship dice are loaded.
Uh-oh.
My thoughts on that, they don't need to be loaded. And how could they load them on a moving cruise ship with all that?
I wonder why he thinks they're loaded. Because he's losing?
Maybe. He's obviously not martingale-ing.
Yeah.
Come on, Ken, get with the program, buddy. Yeah.
I don't want to offend him, but I mean, craps, you're allowed to bet both ways. So if they're loaded for one way and you're seeing certain numbers,
Could go the other way.
you can bet the other way.
Yeah, just keep on the same
No,
street.
I mean, I know sometimes it does feel
It
like
seems that way.
it's
Oh
like,
my God.
my gosh, no matter what I do,
Yeah.
the thing is, right? Like they are, you probably couldn't. They don't have the same protections necessarily. You don't have a United States Gaming Commission over them because they're all based out of
Bahamas or whatever. But
wherever,
I
right?
do think some of them have associations now with
They do.
with them.
Some of them,
And
a lot of them will follow, like for the slot
particular
machine
cruise
rules,
line. Yeah.
and they'll be like, we abide by Nevada's rules as far as the minimum and maximum they can rake on the slot machines.
Yeah.
Percent setback or win back rate and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I in theory, if anyone could cheat in some way, they could maybe pull it off. But I don't. What do they have to gain? Except for to lose customers when the game is rigged. Play your system. The game is rigged.
They're going to get
No
their
matter what,
house
yeah.
edge. Yeah, they're definitely going to do it.
Cruise rolls are always short. Average roll seems to be less than 5 or 6. Yeah, that is your yeah.
Yeah, it's very rarely. Yeah, I tend to agree with them. I haven't done very well on my cruises. I've done about, I don't know, 8 or 10 cruises now. And except for the first one, when my son was rolling, youngest son, he was 18 and rolling. That was my only super duper profitable cruise. You know.
Yeah, I've had one profitable and two losing. I think I've done three. So, I've seen monsters,
Yeah,
so
it's
it's
possible.
yeah, and yeah. I mean, you ask Brian and Holy Roller, he'll tell you.
Oh, I'm sure he's got a lot
Yeah, I mean,
more.
because he goes,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
on
all
every
the
month, so
time.
he's
Yeah,
seen a bigger
sample
swath of
size.
sample
Yeah.
size. Yeah,
Yep.
sample size. It's
Hmm.
going every month, so for the last few years, so he's seen it, and I know he's had some big wins. Shep's asking, do you pay taxes? What's he talking about?
Man, I
This is
pay
coming out of the
taxes
blue.
on gas, on Diet Cokes. I pay taxes all the time,
That's
all day,
America.
every day. That's America, baby. No, I think he means on the wins.
Yeah, I
Have,
know. What brought
yeah.
that up?
No, I've never paid taxes on a win. I've
Longest
never
rolls
been 10.
28.
What's a? It's not 1099. What is it?
W2G?
Yeah, never had that.
You're not a slot
So
player.
yeah, that's true. I am not a slot player, so never.
And how would you win? How would you win a W2G on a craps table?
I don't know.
Yeah,
You have to be over. Oh, what was it? That's why they keep that bet 299 or lower, because it has to be
Yeah,
on the
it
300.
has to be 300 to 1
300 to
payoff
1.
ratio.
That's right. That's right.
So the only
And
thing on
there's
the craps table is certain payoff tables for the fire bet.
right, and it has to be more than that 300 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Has
that
to
wouldn't be
pay
me.
1,200 and meet 300 to 1.
So,
So
never have done that. No.
you're not going to get a W2G on the craps table. So
No.
do you pay taxes? You are supposed to self-report.
Well,
Until
as soon as I get up to my level of losses,
well, that's the
yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So you're supposed to report your winnings, but you are allowed to deduct your losses
yeah.
against the winning. You can't say, "Hey, I lost 10,000," and deduct that off your taxes. But if
Well,
you win 10,000, you can deduct 10,000 and not pay any taxes.
I'm sure
If you keep track, you have
over
to
the
keep
life
track.
of me,
Yeah,
I guarantee it's been at least 1.41%, and maybe a little higher.
there are
'Cause I
some
did.
years though you may have
You
should have
may have,
probably paid tax,
allegedly,
but that's why they do that because they're like, no one's making significant money at the craps table to force you to be paying the taxes. That's why they just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, we're talking. You want to talk about another indication that there's no such thing as a professional. If there was, they would be taxing
Oh
and
yeah,
have lower limits set in or something. They'd be like, we want to tax you, right? So that's why it's slot machines. You win $1,200. That's a significant win. So that's why they're like, we want to know if this, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that
You're right.
that starts to swing things. So in craps, they're like, there's so much winning and losing. We're
All
not
the
gonna,
time.
yeah, we're not gonna hit you up. So yes, you should self-report and tell the casino if you won $300.
All right, Joe just put on here. He said, just got back from a cruise. Every strategy was a loser. I had the long stretches at table all by myself. Yep, I've done that before. Watch the dealers open a tube of dice, measure them with calipers, and check every dimension. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's pretty intense. Well, they
Yeah,
tax you.
he's bringing.
Oh yeah.
Some do, some don't. Some used to pay like at 4, 5, and 6, and some have dropped and had, it was over $300. It's like 1,000 to 1 payoff if you hit all 6. But some pay tables they started paying a lower amount at 3, so they pay at 3, 4, 5, and 6 points or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then the 6 is $299 just to
Okay.
avoid that WTG.
Just to keep you out of that.
So there's different pay tables depending on where you go with the fire bet, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that you never have to worry about that with the ATS because nobody's paying higher than 174.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. What did Joe put something else down? He said, did they incinerate the dice and cards every day when the casino closed? So when the casino closes, Do they incinerate? No, because I bought actually
Yeah, they
dice that
usually
have been
just sell them in
tapped
gift
out.
shops or
Yeah, you can buy them. They're marred and they
sometimes.
take like
Yeah,
a
they mar them
punch.
somewhere.
They
Yeah,
take they
sometimes they
mar them.
punch. Sometimes they
Yeah.
drill all the way through. Cards they usually cut the corners and like the corner off.
Uh huh.
Um, yeah, they go through them though. But yeah, usually you can just find them in gift stores and stuff. Delete the word. Did
Yeah.
dance?
Do yeah.
Oh,
Or they incinerate the cards nice every day
okay.
when the casino closes. Maybe
Yeah,
on
if
the
they don't sell them in the gift shop, they probably they
yeah.
don't want to keep them around.
Maybe he's talking about on the cruise because he was talking about just got back from a cruise.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe they when they're getting rid of the potato skins and mulching that stuff or whatever for the
Well, all that stuff
buffet.
they could dump in the ocean, but I don't know if
I don't
they
think
can
they do.
dump.
Yeah, I don't think they do that stuff anymore. It's too much of a hot button
No,
issue on that.
absolutely they do. I did
They
a
dump they're
tour.
dumping the oh you did you've done the tour that I've always wanted to do
Yeah,
like
they
the
invited
behind
me
the
on the tour,
scenes.
and so they take all the food waste
Yeah,
and
they compact it.
they
And,
compact into cubes and they dump them for the fishes. They said,
wow,
yeah,
I had no idea on that.
yeah,
So like salad doesn't matter what it is,
yeah,
and they're allowed to do that.
yeah.
Wow, interesting. And like, do they do it while the ship is moving?
Yeah.
Huh. I had no idea.
Yeah,
on
back in
that.
port or close to land or whatever, they're probably not allowed to, but yeah.
Really, I would think like with the I don't know for around here we've got like the Gulf Stream that goes up and down the East Coast, and with the warmer water and everything, you would think that they would like because there's a lot of tuna and all these fish, marlins and stuff. I would think that would be because like if they were just out in just a big open ocean.
Yeah, a big open ocean. You're talking, I mean, 100 square mile. I mean, you're talking about dropping uh,
A cube
a
of
needle in
sugar.
a swimming
Yeah,
pool,
yeah,
right? Like,
maybe.
and that's only 100 miles square or something. Like, it's so insignificant.
But I mean, it's not like the middle of the ocean is always full of fish. Most of the fish are like near the plants and the
Yeah, I
feeder
don't know. I mean, they
fish and all
sink.
that stuff.
Who knows? I don't know. I mean, that's what they said. Yeah, they said they
So
definitely drop them for the
so you
fishes.
did the whole thing, like you saw the food
Yeah,
area.
well,
You saw
the whole point of the tour was like, we have got this down to such
efficiency.
efficiency because we know what part of the country these people come in, their demographics. We know we can't screw up in under order. We can't screw up in over order because they're like, the steak cost $4.50. This little dessert costs $1.25. So they
Mhm.
can't. They have no room for error, and they're like, so we don't. First off, we don't have waste, like,
Okay.
or for
Very little. Yeah.
multi-thousand person cruise.
So they're
it's
not
very little
over
waste.
prepping, is what you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay.
Yeah, they've got it down to a science, and he goes, the people who aren't good at it mathematically and ordering, those people rise to the top and get better positions because they are better at this. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, their job is not to have waste. So what they do though gets compacted and fed to the fishies.
Okay. And what did you think about the rest of it? Like, did you see the crew quarters and the
No, I
engineering
didn't.
room
No,
and all
it was
that?
mostly like the kitchen,
The
and
galleyway.
food and stuff like
Okay.
yeah, pretty cool.
they-
Dishwashing and all that stuff.
I want to. There's one where I want to do. It's like, an excursion. You pay an extra. I think it's an extra $100, where you get to go all the way up and down, and they take you on the ins and outs
Okay.
and navigation room and all that stuff. So I want to see all that behind the scenes tour stuff. So, yeah.
What would you say to John here?
John, let me talk to you. For years, I avoided going on cruises. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a pretty energetic guy. I keep busy most all the time. I'm always liking to do stuff, and I never want to go anywhere and feel trapped. And that was in my mind. And then for our 25th wedding anniversary, I went on a cruise on the smallest Royal Caribbean ship that they had at the time, and I fell in love with it. It was an absolute game changer for me. There was stuff to do pretty much every day, throughout the day. You could be as involved, as little or as much as you want to. There's a routine that you kind of go in. I'm sure Jeremy's got the same routine. There's an app now, and you can figure out which shows and what stuff you're going to do. It all kind of revolves around dinner time and when you're going to eat, and then you go do your stuff. So the evenings are always packed and fun. During the day with all the different things, whether it be the health spa, the the sauna room, there's always stuff going on. There's games.
That's if you
there's
don't
stuff.
even get you're just talking about the ship.
Yes.
Usually these cruises, half the cruises they're ported where you can get off and visit wherever.
Yes.
And do whatever.
Yeah, I fell in love with it, John, and
Yeah, usually every day there's like 3 different types of shows to choose from, like Broadway type shows or ice skating shows or whatever, and then they always have
Aqua Theater if
musical
you got
acts.
the big ones.
Yeah, if you have
in
the big
back.
ships, they have
Yeah.
Comedians,
Yes,
stand
lots of
up.
'em.
They have nightclubs type situations.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, and then, like if you take a short one, like a 4-day, it's like, oh my gosh, time flew by because and then gambling, right? They have casinos, so you gamble for a couple hours, you eat whenever you want, so you tend to. People eat 5 times a day instead of 2 or 3, and then you get off on an island and can do whatever you want.
Oh yeah, and you get free cruise offers all the time. Never take them. I would say, hey, try to get one. Get one that'll work for you.
Not being sociable is not a problem.
Yeah.
Me and my wife have never. Well, we went on a cruise with Holy Roller, but we don't talk to anybody.
Which is ironic, being a YouTuber.
Yeah, I'm not. We're not social, so like you're never in a situation where you're necessarily forced to talk to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So there are people on the ship, but it's not the most social you're going to be is at a craps table, probably.
Yeah,
John. I mean, where you're side by side, that's if you want to talk to the person next to you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's what's so great. That's why my wife loves it. She's a flight attendant for a living, constantly has to interact with people, and she loves this. Where she,
down.
Yeah, a book. She likes to lounge around in the sun. So if you're not social, actually, it is a perfect
thing.
And
hey, John, I don't know if you're East Coast or West Coast, but I will mention this. We did a cruise this past summer, and we went down to Bermuda. In Bermuda, you pull in there for 3 nights and 3 nights, 3 days or whatever, and you just get off the ship in Bermuda and you can do whatever, whenever, and it was awesome. You get down in that clear water, and it's like you're swimming in bottled water, and you can see octopus. And
he's on the East Coast.
Is that octopus? Yeah. So you definitely go on down. You do the Bahamas, and yes, the food is amazing.
Well,
it doesn't matter which. In my experience,
it's high-end cafeteria food. For breakfast, whatever the dining is. Fine dining. I would say it's good. It's not not $100 a plate fancy dining, right? But it's really exceptional.
Unlimited food.
Yeah, I mean there's steaks and stuff every night you could choose from.
Salmon,
that are top notch. Not it's not. Yeah, it's really good.
It's good quality food.
And then usually they have, if you want even higher end, they have higher end restaurants too.
Yeah, and you can spend more money. Now those are extra.
Those are extra. Now we're talking. Yeah. Now we're a cruise show.
What?
Octopi.
Oh yeah. I was getting ready to say octopi, octopuses, octopus eyes.
Yeah, octopuses can't be right. Octopi.
Yeah, I don't know. Octopi. I don't know. But yeah, it's they're pretty cool. But
we are now 2 hours into this show.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, hey man, if you want to be like Rogan, you got to go 3, Jeremy. You gotta start buckling up, put your helmet on, and be ready to go for 3.
Hey, if they paid me a 100th of what they pay Rogan, I would do 3 hours. But they don't pay me anything for this podcast. Ready. So
hey, there was one other thing. Hold on, there was one before you go.
Never been on a cruise, but doing some research and watching Holy Roller vids. There you go.
Yeah, and then we had our.
Hey, we talked about 85 Bears earlier today, earlier in the show, or was that pre-show? I don't remember.
That might have been pre-show.
No, it wasn't. Well, it was pre-show, but
We brought up the New Orleans.
Yeah, we brought up the Orleans because he's suggested it a couple times, and we were talking about locations for DiceCon, and I know you mentioned that one. You've liked it there, and I like it at the Orleans too, but it's the opposite end of where the downtown is, so I don't know.
Yeah, and then also Joe was saying, hey, consider Vision of the Seas out of Baltimore, uncrowded, small ship, older demographics. We've got a port here in Norfolk. I mean, we have a port in Norfolk, and now we have a Carnival ship that's going to be home ported over there. In fact, we're going spring break. We're going on the Carnival Sunshine, and that's going to be home ported out of there. So I don't know which end of the East Coast that you're on, but New York, Baltimore, Norfolk. And then, of course, you got all the Florida ports down there. In Florida, you have a lot more options to choose from and cruise lines and everything.
I lived in Florida for 20 years and never went on a cruise, and that's weird.
Isn't that?
I should have taken advantage of it.
Oh, my gosh.
Never really thought about it.
Never thought about it?
No, it just wasn't a thing. I don't know.
So I thought about it, but I thought I would be
I lived in a
trapped.
beach town, but so I don't know.
I live in a beach town, too.
We lived in Naples, and just I don't know. Yeah, I had a funny thought talking about cruising. Like, I can't wait until Elon Musk figures out the rocket ships, and we go up there.
Yeah, oh yeah,
just floating in space, and we got to have a craps table up there in space. So it's like cruising, except we're cruising in outer space.
That's right.
Zero gravity.
On to Mars.
I don't know how we're gonna. Someone has to catch the dice somehow. We throw it, it floats, and then how does it land?
That's
in
going to
zero
make
gravity
dice control very difficult.
Yeah, but the backspin on it. Can you imagine?
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Yeah, so we need craps in space now.
Yeah, you definitely want to check out some of Brian's videos and you got to pick whichever cruise line you want. And whichever one fits your budget and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, and consider travel. Like he just mentioned, cruises from Greece. Greece Isles is a great one, but you got to do transportation, right? So, airfare to and from there,
and then a hotel on either side because you want to get there at least a day before, right? In case there's any delays or anything.
Yep. So, if there's somewhere you could drive or whatever as your first one, it might be cheaper to test it and see if you like it down there in Florida or. That one out of Baltimore or something.
Yeah, or Norfolk.
Or Norfolk.
Yeah, but that's Carnival. Some people Carnival gets kind of a black eye because there's been some videos with some.
It's a more budget. It's a more budget one. So
they're selling the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're the $5. They're the $5 table, so they, you get the riffraff in there. And
come on, man.
Some places like to raise the table limits to 25.
Come on, man.
So people like me can't play.
Yeah.
Or won't play.
That's cold. That's cold, man.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Have we got 2 hours? We did 2 hours. So
we did two.
So we're working our way
up. But I like
up.
this. I like talking for. I don't know.
You must have had a coffee or something.
This is fun to me.
Beforehand. Yeah. And I like it.
But we're not really saying anything now.
We're not.
And this is definitely, this will all be cut out of the podcast. So.
Oh, yeah.
Carnival tables are 10 on the old ships and 15 on the new ship. That stinks.
Celebration. I haven't been on a newer ship.
I've been on a few lines, like different lines of the Royal, and they're all 10. I haven't heard of a 15. They have 3 new ones or 2 new ones now, Icon and something else, but even that I haven't heard of.
I was on
15.
the what do they call it? Oasis class. I've been on we were on the ship twice, and I can't think of it right now. But anyway, they were 10. So
someone's running $5 tables. I've heard of them. I don't know what line or whatever, but
it used
I see
to be
reports
$5
every once in a while.
Yeah, has anybody been on a cruise
within the
lately,
last 6
Joe?
months? I've heard of $5.
Joe, has anybody been on a cruise with $5 tables? Because I was on celebrity cruises and it was 10.
I'm not playing a $15 cruise ship. I'm just not doing it.
Well, then you're not going to get any more offers.
Which is weird because I play higher and could
Yeah, you
probably.
play more money with these hybrid systems. You're gonna play on it.
You're
Come
right.
on,
You're
man.
right. Why did I say
You know
that?
what I'm
I
saying?
think.
Come
Yeah,
on.
that's stupid. I am going to play $50
I want
table.
my
I
free
wouldn't care.
cruise. I want my free cruise.
Yeah, for me, because I'm playing hybrid, it wouldn't matter if it's a $25 table. Honestly.
Okay, here we go. So Joe jumped in and said Vision just jumped up to $10. Maybe
Oh,
that's
jumped.
why. Yeah, so that's why I was by myself at the table. Could be, Joe. I don't know. Well, this has been fun, Jeremy. We've never, I don't think we've hit the 2-hour mark lately, have we?
No.
No.
Well, we try to keep it snappy because you got work early in the morning.
Oh
but-
yeah. And when I don't care, you can see I really don't care.
Yeah, same here. Is your wife in? I mean,
Yeah, she's retired technically, so she's off every day technically, but she goes to school and does some.
she's at the house though,
tutoring.
or what?
Yeah,
It's
she's
been-
on the other side of the house.
Normally,
with the
you're like,
dogs.
"Hey, honey, can you give me a coffee or something before the show?"
Yeah,
But-
I did that before the show.
Okay.
And
Before I
what's
popped in.
there? Yeah, it's right there. So, well, yeah, but she popped in before the show and gave it to me. But yeah, that's about it. But yeah, nothing to do, so I'm kind of bored. So I'll go wake her up. Let
Is
the
the game
dogs
on?
out.
The football game?
Yeah, I could put it on this TV right here, but I don't want to get
It pulled down.
pulled down from YouTube for
Yeah,
unauthorized broadcasting
I
or
heard the
whatever.
NFL's pretty strict on that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, it was just an announcement that Color Up Podcast went live.
Well, that's good.
My
Let's see.
wife has left Hawaii.
She's
So
on her
in the-
way.
she's on her way home.
Okay. Maybe that's when she said bye on Facebook.
Must be.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
I don't
think
know.
anything else. I won't even bother.
Okay.
So many things in the hopper that I shouldn't announce announcement
yeah.
of an announcement. It doesn't make much sense to me. So
No.
I'll just let it go. I'm just excited about certain things.
Okay. So, can we expect an announcement this week in a video?
Probably. Yeah. I don't want to make any commitments about this week or anything, but
Or how about
it
next
should have
week?
been done a month ago or so. But
Oh, well. Goes back to motivation, internal and external. So, are you going to be internally motivated to get whatever you have planned done? So, who knows? And by the way, it's what time for you?
it's 7:00 here.
Yeah. So you got
I'm
plenty
thinking
of
of
time.
going to dinner by
There you
myself.
go. Go get something to eat.
Chili's.
There you go.
Can I go on a rant about Chili's since we're bored and not doing anything and we haven't lost all of our viewers yet?
Go ahead. What do you think about Chili?
McDonald's is now running commercials for $10 value meals. It's like you could choose the quarter pounder with fries and a medium drink or the Big Mac fries and a medium
That's a
drink
value
for
in the
$10.
United
That's the value
States of
meals,
America.
$10.
in the United States of America.
But I go to Chili's and get the 3 for me. It's $10.99, and like you could choose whatever starter, and I choose unlimited chips and salsa.
Okay.
So unlimited chips,
Plus fries.
and then you get the you get to pick like a chicken sandwich or a burger, and these burgers they're bigger than quarter pounders. They're probably third
Yeah.
pounders. They're fresh meat. Cheese, veggies, whatever sauce. They have different options for the
yeah.
burger. Then you get the seasoned fries.
Big
Then
bun.
you get a good like bruschetta
Toasted
bun.
Yeah.
And then you get the unlimited soft drink or unlimited Arnold Palmer's or strawberry lemonades.
Mm-hmm.
$10.99.
Yeah. I saw one of their commercials. They just started advertising it last night, and it made me want a burger.
And I'm like, do I go to McDonald's for their burger for $10 or $10.99 at Chili's? It's
But
a
you got a
no-brainer.
tip. You got a tip.
Yeah.
You got a tip. But
I mean, I
that
guess you
extra-
could do carry out. I don't know if do people tip on carry out? I don't know. You could order to go, but
maybe if you make the sandwich yourself in the back, it's cheaper.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, it is a significantly better burger, and
Oh
then the
yeah.
fries, unlimited chips, and yeah, yeah.
So Chili's is on the mind.
No, I do it all the time.
Where do
I'm
you
like,
eat
they're
when you go in there? At the bar?
no, I
You
just
get a
sit there.
booth?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I go. Me and my wife go a lot.
Oh,
We
okay,
go. We're
okay.
like once a week at Chili's now,
Oh
because
wow.
it's if you want fast, it's slower than
Yeah.
McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King, but those meals now are 12.
Yes.
They're not 10 because those are just their value meals now. But if you want a normal meal, they're like $12 to $15 at these fast food restaurants now. I don't know how Chili's does it. I don't know if Applebee's is like the same thing, but I know they work kind
Hmm.
of.
Sounds
It's
like you
crazy the value you get at. I mean, value. I don't. It's a significantly good burger and
you sound like
fries.
you're getting ready to throw your hat in the ring
Already,
for
well, I'm thinking
office.
to go. Like, why shouldn't I go now?
Yeah,
There's
you
no food
can.
in the house. My wife has been gone. I should just. I'm going to go to Chili's. I've made up my mind.
Yeah.
I
Well,
will
wait
have
a
to pay a
minute.
tip. So in total, it's going to cost me $15 because it's $10.99. It's 11, whatever, with
With tax.
tax.
Yeah.
My wife says you have to leave $5 tip as the
Even though it
minimum.
even though it's
Even though 20% is like $2.50. I don't know. I round down because the tip's like $4. $15 I leave
okay.
when I go by myself.
All right.
It's like a 35% tip or so. I don't know. It's more. I don't know.
So
You sound like I'm an empty nester now.
yes, he
It
is.
makes a huge difference.
Yeah, when you're doing 2 versus 4,
Five.
or 5 or 6
Yeah.
or whatever
At
you.
one point, I was feeding 4 kids. And there's the 6 of us. We went out and we'd go to McDonald's, but that was back in the day when the meals were $4.99.
Yeah. And then they had Happy Meals, which were like $2 or $3
Yeah,
back in the
$1.99.
day.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
all the kids got Happy Meals.
Yeah. Inflation's
Now
terrible, isn't it?
it's been
It's
insane.
terrible. Yeah, and then when you hear
We
40% tax or 40%
yeah, but I
tip.
mean it's on one person and the meal's $11. It's hard to go. Here's a $2 tip. I mean, I don't know.
Hey,
That's
big
just me.
spender. Yeah. Thanks for coming in.
Right.
Thanks for coming in. I
So
missed out on the 8 top for you.
We talk in my family. It's a joke. We'd go to Siastico, which is fine Italian dining,
Okay.
which is a fancy word for Costco, where they sell a
Okay.
$1.99 pizza slice, and you can still get the dollar hot dog meal for $1.50. Right? That inflation don't touch that sucker.
Right.
So I would take the family out to eat at Costco or Sam's because
Mhm.
you could feed the family of 6 for
There you go.
$15.
Wow.
So yeah, in my family, it's a joke about going to Siastico.
Siastica. Okay.
Yeah, it kind
I gotta
of
use that
classied up
word.
the name a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but they knew what they were in store for. They loved the pizza there, so it was no harm, no foul.
There was a TikTok or YouTube video or something, and the guy's got he's got this little card for his girlfriend or his wife. Would you like to go to a exclusive club or a romantic dinner at home? And she chose exclusive club, and then he took her to Sam's, and she's getting like the $2 combo with. I'm sure that's now 3 or 4 with the drink and the slice of pizza. Yeah. Don't church it up. Don't church it up. What is he talking about?
I think Siastico, maybe like a
Oh, okay.
Catholic name. I don't know,
I don't know.
Italian name.
Interesting. But yeah, it's go get your burger, man. Go get your burger on.
We're wasting time.
Yeah, but you know what? This is really a practice for your show about nothing.
Yeah, we've transitioned well. Kept the dead air to a minimum.
Yeah, and the only
think
time
we did
I
a
had
pretty
dead
good job.
air was when we were
We're reading.
reading and stuff. So I mean, if you think about all the topics about nothing that we've talked about, they're pretty significant.
We've done a pretty
Yeah.
good job of talking about nothing, killing
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anybody else got anything for the better of the group? I feel like I'm
Yeah,
in.
it's definitely too late now to
Yeah,
to
it's
actually
probably
work.
it's
Finish
probably
my
a
table set up and record videos. I'll
yeah.
have
We
to
a
do that tomorrow.
mission accomplished.
Yeah, I
mission accomplished.
procrastinated far enough.
Manana, manana. Anybody else got anything for the better of the group? I feel like this is like at this point we're just members of a 12-step program, and
Yeah,
the meeting's winding down.
I mean, one of the items on my list was to get the phone number so people could call in.
Oh yeah, for the thing.
For better or
us.
worse, I think it would be fun.
I think it would
calls.
be great. In fact, that was going to be what I was going to tell you. I told you I was listening to the Apple podcast, and they recommended this other podcast, and I listened to their podcast, and it's about casinos. I can't remember what the name of it is, but anyway, they have a telephone where you call in and say, "Hey, this is so and so," and it was pre-recorded. It wasn't like live.
Yeah,
and it was pre-recorded, and they told their casino story or whatever it was, and
I've heard a lot of people do that. They have like a phone line and then they record it and then play it back and edit it or play it back or whatever, which is cool. But I'd like to be a little different and go like old school radio and just like
live
caller, you are on the air.
Yeah.
And if they say something, we'll just turn them off. But
yeah, we have to beep them.
It'll be.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll add some dynamic, and no one else is doing it, so
yeah,
I want to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I was looking. I spent some time. I'm looking for a Google Voice number, right?
Okay.
But I want something that ends with dice or something kind of related, right? Yeah. So when I'm pulling up my phone.
Color up. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So dice would be
one color
3, 4, 2, 3, right? It would have to end in 3, 4, 2, 3. And you have to check it by area codes across the country. I'm like, well, maybe it should be a Las Vegas area code, or I don't know. But I got to find the right number that I get.
And it would be a Google thing to where it would ring into the computer or whatever.
Yeah,
your phone,
yeah. Go to my phone, I'd add it.
Okay.
And then with my soundboard, I just can Bluetooth it or whatever, or wire it, and then I just answer the phone between the hours of 8 and 9 on Sundays.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just go to voicemail or whatever. But
yeah. Weary buyer Ken said he might need a delay with that. So hopefully we wouldn't have any.
But I mean, we're not. I mean, I like to personally keep it family friendly.
Yeah.
But if someone said something.
I mean, Joe Rogan drops
anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say Joe Rogan
we're
dropping F-bombs all the time.
We're not on national television rules or anything. We're not requested or any radio airwaves that has FCC rules or anything like that. Podcast is internet. It's a wild, wild west. You do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to keep it clean, but
keep it G. That's what we say.
No.
Okay, well that's cool. And maybe an announcement coming this week.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Nothing. Nobody's
got anything
the
for
only
the
one commenting.
yeah.
So
yeah,
there are people watching.
Supposedly
but he's
13 viewers.
Yeah.
Maybe they're Facebook people. But no, they come in too, right?
Yeah, they show up too. It shows a breakdown. One of them is Jim Cartwright, Facebook viewer currently.
Oh, that's probably because I got it on my computer or my.
No, it just opened up because now we're at 14 viewers. Unless you just opened up your.
No, it was on there before.
See, then we got someone new. We just lost a
Really?
YouTuber. Yeah, there's someone watching. Thank you for watching from Jim's Facebook.
Yeah, let me see here. Where is my? There we go. Here.
Yes, we are really killing time for no reason now.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
we're
watching
bored.
it now. It's been on there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's me. Sorry. All right. You ready to kill this? Or
Yeah.
you want to be nice to the 14 people? I mean,
thank you
think
for
about
hanging in with us.
It's hey, think about it, Jeremy. It's only 41 and a half minutes or whatever until we're in Joe Rogan range. Yeah. I mean, this was scary to one of the political candidates that was running for office recently.
coming on the Color Up podcast?
Well, did you invite them both? You can't say.
No, I didn't invite them both. So
Okay.
you have to equally invite them, or I don't know what the rules are.
You don't have
so.
to, but I mean, you could.
Oh, you don't?
But I mean, yeah.
Oh,
I
no,
guess,
that was just for television. Like, again, they have rules.
yeah, with television.
Public airways.
I mean, they did. I know Rogan invited both parties, and the other one had some restriction requests
Oh, okay.
and things. Yeah.
No, I mean, we could do 3 hours if we had a guest. I don't know if people want to hear us two babble on for 3 hours.
Probably not.
We've kind of pulled it off
Yeah.
to nobody. No, thanks for hanging out. We're just a couple bored guys talking for the week, and I guess we'll see you next weekend.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for
See you.
hanging out.
Oh, I could set outro videos and intro videos. Maybe I should make those.